Scarlet Pimpernel. By Ashenafi. Int. Prison, Leo's cell, night. We see a red rose, Bible, and a letter on the floor. A young good-looking man, Leo, 29, reads what he just wrote in voiceover while lying on the bed. In the meantime, we see photos of a beautiful girl named Melissa on his wall. Leo, voiceover every second is a defining moment of your life, a chance to do something beautiful, to believe that you're in control. Every beat, smile, tear, is an adventure, to give a key to your heart door. To love and be loved, to kiss and be kissed. And each kiss is a magic to reveal the secret of your soul, to tell and show someone that you love, she's beautiful love, the fairest of them all. Leo puts the letter in the Bible, takes the rose, and kisses it. He puts the rose on top of the Bible, and goes to sleep. EXT prison, day. Leo gets out of the prison. Out of nowhere comes a taxi and pulls next to him. He gets into the taxi. The taxi drives away. Int. Roxette Strip Club, evening. The club is empty now. We see Samantha, a pretty girl, 27, behind a counter cleaning up the glasses and few strippers walking up and down. Snoop Dogg's Sensual Seduction is playing from a stereo. Leo walks in. Samantha looks at him and gives him an inviting smile. He returns her smile charismatically as he approaches the bar. Samantha, what's up? Leo, nothing much. Samantha, scotch on the rocks. Leo, please. She grabs a black label and pours the liquor in a glass. Samantha, how is life treating you? Leo, not bad. Samantha, when did you get out? Leo, just now. She places ices in the whiskey and places it in front of him. Samantha, it's in the house. Leo, thanks. Samantha, you welcome. He takes a sip and places the drink on the counter. Out of nowhere, comes an attractive girl named Sienna Tyler, 23, and stands next to Leo with a cigarette at the bar. Sienna, hi. Leo, hi. Sienna, to Samantha you got match. Samantha gives her a match. Sienna lights her cigarette, smokes, and breathes the fog at Leo's face with style. Sienna, gives Leo her hand. I'm Sienna. He takes her hand. Leo, Leo. He kisses her hand. She can't help it but smile in beauty. Sienna, have I seen you somewhere? Leo, where? Sienna, America's Most Wanted. He smiles at her softly. Leo, is that right? Sienna, no. It's a joke, a silly pickup line I came up with to get cute guys' attention. Leo, that is original. But weren't you once arrested for stealing Cupid's heart? Sienna, what does that mean? Leo, the sexiest girl in America. Sienna, I get that a lot. But tell me something that I don't know. Leo, if being beautiful were a crime, you would have sentenced to death. Sienna, are you sure? Leo, you can serve time in my heart anytime if you want to. She smiles in seduction. There is a pause. They gaze at each other, eyes tenderly. She then. Sienna, in between looking at Leo to Samantha, I was going to call in sick, feeling this sporadic headache. But I'm having a second thought, glances at his eyes, if this playboy is staying late. You know, I might come out, wearing nothing and dance till my vagina sweats like mean orgasm. They smile softly. Samantha, you might want to think twice. He will resist you. Sienna gets into character and comes up to his lips. Sienna, what's she talking about? Leo, I keep a low profile when it comes to being led into temptation. Sienna, how is that? Leo, I vow never to fall in love with beautiful girls. They keep depriving my heart. I have a very sensitive soul. She gives him an alluring smile. Sienna, how sensitive? Leo, the blood in my heart is like benzene. You are like a high explosive beautiful thing. Something tells me I should stay away from you. She gets closer and gives him a soft kiss on the cheek. Sienna, is about to walk away. I am expecting you tonight. Leo, tonight is not a good time. I have to take care of some business. I'll come tomorrow if it's okay with you. Sienna, it's fine. Playing hard to get. But tomorrow is another day. I might have to wear underwear. Leo, whatever feels comfortable. Sienna, tongue feels comfortable. She licks her lips seductively. Leo, I have no comment. Sienna, bye. Leo, take care. She walks away. He turns his eyes and gives Samantha, who continues to clean the glasses, a soft smile. Leo, she caught me stealing heart. Samantha, she's new. She's been working here for a month. Leo, I like her style, fast as lightning. Samantha, wait till you see her on the stage. She is a natural born slut. Leo, what does that mean? Samantha, the sky is the limit. There is a pause. Samantha stops cleaning the glasses, takes out a cigarette, lights it, and smokes as Leo takes a sip from his whiskey. He then. Leo, is she here? Samantha, she quit. Smokes and exhales the fog, works at Rose Garden. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. They continue to talk without a sound. Meanwhile, we pull out of the club dexterously. Int. Rose Garden, night. It's a 5-star restaurant, bar, and club. On the stage, an enchanting girl Desiree Jeremiah, 24, sings Billie Holiday's My Man. Sitting at the bar, Leo watches her. EXT Rose Garden, night. A limo comes and pulls next to the club. A Secret Service steps out of the passenger seat, and opens the door. A good-looking man, President candidate Senator Thomas Payton aka Tom, 45, comes out of the limo, and heads to the club escorted by his two trusted bodyguards Austin and William, who had been standing there and waiting. Int. Rose Garden, night. Desiree continues to sing. Tom steps into the club. The owner of the club, Devin Erickson, 47, greets him at the door. Tom walks up to a table, sits, and begins to watch Desiree. Austin and William stand by the door making sure he's safe. Sitting at bar, Leo continues to watch Desiree. Leo's POV. Desiree sings a little bit more and finishes singing. Desiree then walks up to Tom. Tom gets up. Desiree gives him her hand. He takes her hand and kisses it. They sit at the table, and begin to talk. At the same time, on the stage, Foxy Ladies, a group that consists of 5 showgirls, come to the stage, and begin to dance Exotic with Buttons by Pussycat Dolls. Desiree excuses Tom, gets up, walks toward the direction of the camera, and comes to the bar. Desiree, to the bartender, give me French gimlet. The bartender turns to prepare her drink. She takes out a cigarette, and looks at Leo. Desiree, do you have a lighter? Leo takes out a matchbox that has the slogan of Roxette Strip Club and lights her cigarette. She looks at the matchbox. Desiree, you like going to a strip club? Leo, not a regular base, occasionally. She smokes her cigarette. Desiree, do that means you enjoy watching naked girls spinning around the pole? Leo, I don't mind. It's entertainment. Desiree, what about lap dance? Leo, it is okay. But I prefer sex. It suits me well. It goes with my style. Desiree, what is your style? Leo, that. She smiles softly. There is a pause. She smokes her cigarette and breathes out the fog at his direction. Desiree, what you mean by that? Leo, why don't you take a wild guess? Desiree, I'm having a hard time guessing things wide of their marks lately. Why don't you just tell me? Leo, I don't know if I can just tell you. It's like French kiss. You might get the wrong idea the way I feel about certain things in life. Desiree, smiles softly like what? Leo, like a girl who is alluring as a rose. Desiree gives him a soft seductive smile. Desiree, have we met before? Leo, I don't think so. But don't take it personal. I just got out of prison. I'm looking for my sweetheart. They told me she works here. Desiree, what's her name? Leo, Melissa. Desiree gets quiet. The bartender, French gimlet. The bartender places her drink in front of her. Desiree, thanks. The bartender, you very welcome. Desiree, to Leo, you must be the famous Leo. He says nothing. Desiree, I wish you the best. She doesn't work here anymore. As she's about to walk away, he holds her arm. Leo, wait. Where is she? There is a pause. They look at each other's eye with a strong sexual attraction as if they wanted to kiss without each other's permission and make love on the table. He lets her arm go. She then. Desiree, meet me at Purple Ray Cafe tomorrow 10 a.m. I have a message for you. I have to go. She walks back to Tom as Leo looks at her with longing. Leo takes out a cigarette, lights it, and begins to smoke. Leo's POV. Desiree sits at the table next to Tom. Desiree and Tom converse. Tom then gets up, takes out an envelope, and gives it to Desiree. They kiss on the cheeks. He says bye, walks toward the door, and exits the club with his bodyguards. Desiree looks over at Leo. He catches her eyes. She gets up and walks toward her dressing room. Leo looks at her, grabs his drink, and takes a sip. He then turns his eyes and continues to watch the Foxy Ladies, who are dancing in sensuality, as if they know how to make pleasure out of thin air. Insert. Movie, Casablanca. We see a couple of clips from the movie Casablanca. Rick, Humphrey Bogart, romancing Esau, Ingrid Bergman, in Paris, and Sam, Dooley Wilson, playing piano. We then watch Rick at the train station where he reads the last letter that Esau sent him. Insert, letter. Richard, I cannot go with you or ever see you again. You must not ask why. Just believe that I love you. Go, my darling, and God bless you. Ilsa. Int. Purple Ray Cafe, day. It is a seductive cafe. Leo sits at a table with a cup of coffee. There are a handful of customers sitting at tables, and enjoying their breakfasts. Leo takes a sip from his coffee and puts down his cup. Then Desiree walks in. Leo sees her. She walks to his table. He gets up. Desiree, hi. Leo, hi. They kiss on the cheeks. He pulls a chair for her. She sits at the table. He takes his seat back. Leo, do you want a coffee or anything? Desiree. No thanks. I just came to give you this letter. She takes out a letter from her purse, and gives him. He takes the letter and begins to read the letter to himself. Insert, letter. Leo, I cannot go with you or ever see you again. Don't ask why. Just believe that I love you. Go. My darling, and God bless you. Melissa. Leo, it doesn't look like her handwriting. Desiree, it's not her handwriting. I wrote it last night, word by word from the movie Casablanca. Leo, I've never seen it. Desiree, you should watch it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the most romantic movies of all time. I must have watched it over 30 times. Leo, softly, I'll probably go check it out and tell you if it's my cup of tea. But where is Melissa? Desiree, she went to New York City with a movie producer named George about 6 months ago. I doubt it if she has any plan to return with a 10-carat diamond ring on her finger. She wanted you to move on. A beat, I wrote the letter, cause I thought it would cheer you up. Leo, I'm jolly. There is a pause. She looks at him. He's not too happy, but she knows she has gotten him under her spell. Desiree, I'm sorry. Leo, it's okay. There is a silent moment. They gaze at each other, eyes with seduction. She then. Desiree, softly, I had better go. Leo nods sure. She gets up, and walks away without saying anything. Leo looks at the letter, tears the letter into pieces, and puts the shards on the table. He then grabs his coffee and takes a sip. Int. Brad's car, moving, day. A good-looking man, Brad Levin, 34, is behind the wheel driving in the street of Vegas while talking to on his cell phone. We don't hear the other end of the conversation, just Brad. Brad, movie and dinner. Pause. Brad, it's either Pretty Woman or Bull Durham. It's up to you. Pause. Brad, Bull Durham is a good movie. I give it 41.5 stars out of 5. Pause. Brad, okay. We'll watch Pretty Woman. But make sure you don't eat anything. I'm cooking. Pause. Brad, no, that's not it. Pause. Brad, it's a surprise. Pause. Brad, okay. Bye. I have to go. He hangs up the phone, puts it in his pocket, and continues to drive down the street. EXT Street, day. We see a man, Scott Stone, 29, standing at the back of his yellow Hummer H3 selling brand new Sony Walkman for $5 to a crowd that are standing in front of him. Scott, brand new Sony Walkman. $5 each. The best deal only money can buy. A teenager kid gives him $5. Scott takes the money, and gives the boy the Walkman. The boy takes the Walkman and walks away. At the same time, Brad comes driving and pulls behind the crowd. Scott looks at him. Scott, the show is over, guys. We will do it again tomorrow with a brand new video game and DVD. Now beat it. The crowd break up whining and buzzing. Brad steps out his vehicle and walks towards Scott. Moses and John stand in his way. Brad flashes his badge. Brad, LVPD. Step aside. The two gentlemen move aside. Brad proceeds. Scott closes the door behind the products and turns in time to face Brad. Scott, how you doing, brother? It's long time to see you. Brad, what you doing here? Scott, nothing, just handing out early Christmas present to the neighborhood kids free of charge. Brad, that's what I thought too. But tell me this isn't your vehicle. Scott, the last time I checked my registration. It's registered under Scott. I think that's the name my mother used to call me whenever I bite her nipple during breastfeeding. Brad takes Scott's arm. Brad, you're under arrest. Come with me. Brad begins to take Scott toward his car. Scott, what did I do? Brad, I have a warrant for your arrest. Brad brings Scott to the hood of his car. Brad, put your hands on the car. Scott, puts his hand on the hood. What warrant are you talking about? Brad, searches him. I'll explain to you in the way to the station. Brad takes out a handcuff, cuffs Scott, and puts him in the passenger seat. He closes the door behind Scott, walks around the car, gets in behind the wheel, starts the car, and drives away. Int. Brad's car, moving, day. Brad, who is behind the wheel, and Scott, sitting in the passenger seat with his hands cuffed behind, continue to drive down the street. Scott, what's up, man? Brad, nothing much. Scott, I thought you went to Rio de Janeiro after that stunt you pulled against the Jones twins. What you doing here in the street? Brad, I'm doing private investigation. Few months ago, while I was working undercover on the Jones twins, they were talking about heisting plutonium from this nuclear power plant called MTI. But FBI came between the operations and took Billy Jones for tax evasion. And ATF and the department got Johnny for a Class A felony, selling deadly weapons to terrorists. And just the other day, the inside man, a chemist named John, who was supposed to show us the way, took 2 in the chest and 1 in the head. They stripped his clothes and dumped him in the river butt naked. And the plutonium that was supposed to be surfacing around disappeared without a trace. The FBI said they never heard of plutonium. Meanwhile, the department stated, it's homicide. It's against the Constitution to look for a product that wasn't 3 in the first place. But I said screw the Constitution. I know it was there. I want you to tell me about people who can move plutonium in the state of Nevada. Scott, I don't really know anything about plutonium. I'm still working on that uranium that North Korea is trying to smuggle, using electron devices to blow shit down here. But I heard a group of mercenaries under Senator Tom heist this joint, an anonymous nuclear power plant. And at this poker house here in West Las Vegas, one of the drivers was talking about moving the product to China. Brad, what is his name? Scott, Felix Nelson. EXT Brad's car, moving, night. Medium shot of the car moving with Brad and Scott at the direction of the camera. Int. Felix's apartment, Living room, day. We see a man lying on the floor shot 3 times, 1 in the head and 2 in the chest. Homicide and forensic team from LVPD collect evidence, taking pictures, questioning a witness, and talking among each other. Brad walks in and moves toward the body. Lieutenant Larry Smith is standing next to the body while talking to a forensic doctor. He looks at Brad. Larry, how you doing, boss? Brad, fine. Larry, did you get lost or somebody stole your lunchbox? Brad, someone stole my lunchbox. Pause. Larry, what you're doing here? This is homicide. Brad, I'm doing a follow-up on the Jones twins. I am looking for a man named Felix Nelson. Larry, here, you're looking at him. He took 2 in the heart and 1 in the brain. It's enough to keep him silent for a while. Brad, what happened? Larry, we just got the call. It might take us few days to figure out what really went down here. His girlfriend found him lying dead this morning. Through the open glass doors, we see a young woman and Bradshaw, 24, talking to Detective Jody Jordan, 32, and the chief of the LVPD Capital, Dean Keitel, 50, in the porch. Brad, whose case is it? Larry, it's mine and Jody. She's been on it since this morning. Captain Keitel, Jody, and Ann step into the living room just in time. Captain Keitel looks at Brad and stops at the entrance. Cap Keitel, officer, Brad Levin. Come outside. I would like to have few words with you. Captain Keitel walks back to the porch. Ann and Jody move forward. Brad greets Jody as they pass by each other. Brad, hi. Jody, hi. Brad, you look like Christmas morning. Jody, as always. Brad, better than ever. She smiles softly at him and joins Larry as Ann walks down. Brad continues to walk toward the porch where the Capitol is at. EXT porch, night. Brad comes to the porch and stands next to the Captain Keitel at the light frame wall. Captain Keitel takes out a cigarette, lights the cigarette, and smokes. Captain Keitel, I'm not going to ask you what you're doing here, but I'll tell you again. I want you to drop that plutonium bullshit. We already got Johnny for a Class A felony. I don't want you to fuck it up. The city needs this case to keep a clean image. And if I see you anywhere near to a dead body again, I'll take your badge and gun, and suspend you without paid. Understand? Brad chooses not to say anything. Captain Keitel, I'll take that as a yes. Just go home and pretend we never have this conversation. Brad turns and walks toward the direction of the camera. Int. Roxette Strip Club, night. On the stage, Sienna dances exotic with Usher's Love in this club. The customers seem to be enjoying the show more than a Midsummer Night's Dream. We see Samantha behind the bar, serving drinks. Close up, Sienna. She continues to dance like erotic goddess. Then Leo walks in. Sienna sees him, and gives him an inviting smile. Leo returns her smile, comes up to the bar, sits at the counter, and begins to watch her. Close up, Sienna. She strips her cloth one at a time. Samantha comes to Leo. He looks at her. Samantha, what you want, sweetheart? Leo, same. Samantha, in a minute. Samantha turns to get Leo a drink. Leo continues to watch Sienna, who is dancing exotic in eroticism as if she knew what men wanted to see before their souls separate from their fleshes and stand in front of God at the judgment day. We stay with Sienna for a while. Int. Roxette, later. On the stage, an appealing girl named Rebecca dances exotic with How Do You Want It by Tupac. Leo continues to enjoy his outing while drinking his scotch. Then Sienna walks up to him. Sienna, what's up? Leo, hi. They kiss on the cheeks. Sienna, I thought you were going to ditch me. Leo, what makes you think that? Sienna, because you're the most handsome man I have ever met. Leo is a little bit embarrassed but gives her a charismatic smile. Leo, I don't believe you. Sienna, Christ disguised as a woman. He gives her a look. Leo, what can I get you? Sienna, looks at Samantha who just happens to be standing nearby Jack Daniel. Samantha turns to get her. Sienna gets closer to Leo. Sienna, what you drinking? Leo, scotch. She takes his drink, has a sip, and puts it back. There is a pause. They look at each other eyes softly. She then. Sienna, why are you quiet? Leo, I'm trying to recover from that compliment. It's one of the most risque things anybody's ever said to me. Sienna, don't be silly. I bet you look at yourself in the mirror and you wish you were a girl. Leo, how is that? Sienna, if I apply a little bit makeup on your face, you're pretty as any classic movie actress that I've watched. Leo, is that so? Sienna, just take my word, Rita Hayworth. He couldn't help but smile softly. Leo, if I were a girl, I would be a lesbian, put on a three-piece suit, seduce you to the bed, and kiss your sweet lips all night. But I am a gentleman, talking to Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. And compared to you, I'm nothing but a ghost that preys on true love. Sienna, what does that mean, a ghost that preys on true love? Leo, I just want to be invisible, perhaps a spell, rove under your skin, and kiss your heart, and fall in love with your beautiful soul, and become a butterfly in your belly. She smiles in beauty. There is a pause. They gaze at each other's eyes. She then holds her stomach. Sienna, anyway, I'm hungry. What time is it? Leo checks his watch. Leo, 11. Sienna, do you want to go out dinner? Leo, are you asking me out a date? She comes up to him and stands between his legs. Sienna, you got problem with that? Leo, no. She kisses him on the lips seductively. Sienna, let me go change my cloth. They kiss. Sienna looks over at Samantha, who happens to turn her attention back to Leo and Sienna. Sienna, to Samantha, don't worry about the drink. I'm calling sick. He's taking me out dinner. Leo smiles softly at Samantha. Samantha, you never took me out dinner. Leo, you never asked. Samantha, you were supposed to ask me out. I thought you were a gentleman. Leo, I'm guilty. Sienna, maybe he was too busy playing with the girls' hearts and making us fall in love with him as if we were from a Catholic boarding school. Leo smiles softly. Sienna gives him soft kiss on the lips. Sienna, anyway, I am the one who is taking him out. She kisses him. Sienna, I'll be right back. Sienna walks toward the dressing room, leaving Samantha and Leo on the screen. Samantha pours Leo a drink and puts the glass in front of him. Samantha, it's on me. Leo, thanks. Samantha, you welcome. She gives him a look with attitude. Leo, what is it? Samantha, nothing. A beat, why do men always think they are better than women? The fact is we are just as good as any man who has ever walked on this land, if not better. Leo, if that was the case, why then God didn't create a woman before man? Is it because women are as good as the angels in heaven pulling the wool over men's eyes, or God only knew if he had created Eve before Adam, Sir Adam wouldn't know what to do with Eve? She just might be eternal pleasure under his skin and put her above God. Samantha, just never mind. Leo looks at her with seduction. Samantha shakes her head, gives him a precious smile, and walks away. Leo smiles at her softly, grabs his drink, takes a sip, turns his attention to Rebecca, and continues to watch her as she dances exotic with How Do You Want It by Tupac. Int. Restaurant, night. Close up, Sienna. Sienna, wild night, wild night. Were I with thee. Wild night should be our luxury. Feudal the winds. To a heart in port. Done with the compass. Done with the chart. Rowing in Eden. Ah, the sea. Might I but moored night. In thee. Leo and Sienna sit at a table conversing. Sienna is having salad and soda. Leo has just a cup of coffee. On soundtrack, Angel by Sarah McLachlan plays softly. Leo, that's deep. Sienna, it's a poem by Emily Dickerson. Part of a dialogue that I memorized when I was still auditioning at the Broadway in New York City few months ago. Leo, you're an actress? Sienna, you could say that. I did a couple of commercials and theater works, started in few B movies, got into drugs, and lost focus. Now I'm just collecting myself before I go to Los Angeles with fresh start and the money I'm saving. Leo, you're very talented. Sienna, a lot of people say that. But just being good in something by itself doesn't get you anywhere. Sometimes, you have to sell your soul to the devil, and do both the things you don't want to do and the things you like to do before you get what you want. Leo, I feel you. There is a pause. She takes a sip from her soda. She then. Sienna, I'm going to Hollywood this summer. You want to come with me? Leo, what's in Hollywood? Sienna, stuff that nightmares are made of. Leo, I am trying to stay away from nightmare far as I can. Sienna, it's a joke. I got it from Maltese Falcon, stuff that dreams are made of. I was just trying to be original. It's worth give it a shot. Leo, I don't mind building mysteries in my nightmares with you. It's as good as a dream comes true. Sienna, that is romantic. But seriously, I know people in the business. I can get you in movies. As a matter of fact, my ex-boyfriend is a director. He wanted me to star in this independent film titled Sexy Love that he wrote and produced. They start filming at the beginning of September. I told him I am not going to work with the actor he cast. There is a real sex scene. I want to do it with someone that I am attracted to. Leo, is it a porn? Sienna, no, it is not. It's a love story, except the sex is real. Leo, humorously, I'll think about it. But I have no acting experience whatsoever. Sienna, you'll be fine. Just be yourself. He smiles softly. On the soundtrack, Angel by Sarah McLachlan plays with full volume. Leo and Sienna continue to talk without a sound. EXT Vegas Strip, night. Leo and Sienna take a walk, talking as we continue to hear Sarah McLachlan's Angel on the soundtrack. Then the music lies on the background and plays softly. Leo, I don't even know what sanity is, but I try to write poetry, or keep the image of a beautiful girl in my mind as long as I can, and project thoughts that take my soul as high as the stars above till I return with passion that I don't understand. Sienna, you're very romantic. Leo, but honest. A girl as gorgeous as you can convince me to do almost anything, including killing a total stranger that I've never met before in my life. She smiles softly. Sienna, that's the kind of man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. But I heard love is a manifestation of peace and desire that keep the flow of energy in our hearts. Leo, I didn't know that. They stand lips to lips. Sienna, seductively, do you want to have sex with me? Leo, I want to make love to you. She smiles in beauty. They kiss French. On the soundtrack, Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus plays melodiously. Int. Leo's apartment, night. Leo and Sienna make love. It's sensual, seductive, and steamy. We stay with them with series cuts. Note, we might see Sienna stripping with Wrecking Ball mixed with love scene. ext/int. Convertible car, moving, day. A 2010 convertible Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Matt, a young charismatic man, 28, is behind the wheel. Leo sits in the passenger seat. They are driving in the streets of Las Vegas. Matt, Joey is going to kill me. I put all my money on Knicks against Miami Heat. Motherfuckers. They blew 14 points leads in the fourth quarter, missing 3 free throws and a wide-open dunk in the last 2 minutes as if they were playing at YMCA, and fucked me in the ass like the village people. Leo, basketball is hard to predict. Matt, I should stick with boxing. At least, you know who will win. Just go out, find a fascist, fuck her till her heart explodes, and come in her mouth. She'll tell you if her uncle, Benito Mussolini, fixed the game, or open a pizza shop in Chinatown. Like Tommy's sister, I never met anybody who loves sex as much as that Italian porn star. She fucks you like a nun who is possessed with 666 demons and a prostitute who escaped from Spanish Inquisition. Leo smiles inaudibly. Leo, where is Tommy? Matt, he's in prison. He moved to LA about 6 months ago. The first thing that motherfucker did was he broke into this actress's house and robbed her at gunpoint. Stupid son of a whore. He left his fingerprints all over the house. The next day, SWAT broke into his apartment and took him to jail before the judge gave him 10 years like his handing lollipops to kids. Leo, that's crazy. Matt, you're telling me? He could have told them he had split personality. At least, the judge would have reduced the sentence into 6 months like they did for Tony, and placed him in the mental institution with Jack Nicholson and his entourage in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Leo, how's Tony doing? Where is he? Matt, he's in jail too. He broke a limo front window with his foot after he got into a dispute with a fat limo driver. Leo, what happened? Matt, he gambled all his money at MGM, left the Grand drunk, and got in a limo. The limo driver told him to get out but Tony told him to go fuck himself, said, "It's Vegas, baby, what happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas." Opened his flyer, took out his dick, and began to take a whiz in the car. The 300-pound limo driver quickly stepped out the driver's seat, came around, wrestled Tony out of the limo, and slaps him like a little kid, who stole a candy from a Russian Jewish convenience store. Tony then jumped on the hood, and kicked the front window till his leg went through the glass. Shortly the cops arrived and took him to jail for distraction of property. In courtroom, he fired his public defender and pled guilty with insanity. Int. Convertible Oldsmobile, trunk, morning. The trunk of the convertible Oldsmobile opens up revealing Leo and Matt like Pulp Fiction style. Matt removes few unidentified objects, reaches for an athletic bag, opens it, and takes out a huge bag of weed. Leo, how many ounces is that? Matt, 25 ounces White Widow. Pure marijuana. Places the weed in a shopping plastic bag that has the image of 2 American sweethearts. The place is an underground club at night. Motherfuckers sell weeds as if it were bread. And if there is any left, they smoke that shit like wildfire before dawn. Leo, what's his name? Matt, Red Panther. His mother is white and his father is black. But you couldn't tell if the boy is black or white. He looks like one of those Puerto Ricans that left in Death Valley, at the border of California and Nevada. Leo, what does he do? Matt, he thinks he's a rapper. But all he raps about is bitches and guns. He doesn't have a sense of regard for women, except he likes to talk about eating pussy out a lot. We have to respect that. Matt closes the truck. Int. Brandon's house, living room, day. Close up, Brandon. An athletic young man, Brandon aka Red Panther, 25, stands behind a big microphone doing rap/freestyle. He's very good spitting verses as if they were born under his tongue with gunpowder and peppermint, and talking about guns and girls. The camera pulls out. We are at Brandon's underground studio in his double living room. We see the picture of Lil Kim, Tupac, the Notorious Big, and other artists on the wall. There are 6 guys in their 20s, James, Seth, TJ, Isaac, Dave, and Miles, and 4 girls in early 20s, Valeria, Rachel, Jezebel, and Alexia, spinning a record, sitting, standing, eating pizza, drinking, smoking, dancing, just hanging around and having fun. There is a knock on the door. Miles, who happens to be standing near the door and drinking beer from a bottle, holds the bottle high. Miles, I got it. Miles opens the door revealing Matt and Leo. Miles, what's it? Matt, Red Panther. Miles, what is the code? Matt, 8792. Miles opens the door wider. Matt and Leo walk in. Miles closes the door. Matt and Leo move toward a couch where a young man sits at with a big bottle of beer, and stand at the far end of the living room, watching Brandon as he continues to rap, like Eminem on fire. Medium shot of Brandon rapping. Brandon spits a couple of poisonous lyrics and finishes rapping. The crowd gives him a round of applause. Brandon comes shakes Seth, a disc jockey, who has been active behind the Pioneer CDJs and M-Audiator DJ equipment spinning a record. Brandon, one love. Seth, one love. Brandon then gives a fist punch to TJ, who is standing with a slice of pizza next to the speaker. Meanwhile, Seth begins to play a hip-hop song in the background. Brandon walks to the sofa, comes to the table and sits next to Valeria, who is sitting with a cigarette and watching TV. A Raisin in the Sun featuring Sidney Poitier and Ruby Dee. Brandon gives her a kiss. She returns his kiss with a juicy kiss. He looks at Matt, who is standing across the table. Brandon, what you got? Matt takes out the marijuana, steps forward, and throws it on the table. Matt, White Widow. The best ganja in the planet. Brandon leans forward, grabs the weed, and smells it. He passes the bag to James, the same young man who is sitting on the couch. James takes the weed and smells it. James, this is junk. He throws it on the table. Matt, what you talking about? It's the best weed out there. It's won the Cannabis Cup 30 years straight ever since they started giving awards back in 1987. Isaac, who is sitting at the coffee table with Rachel on his lap and kissing, parts his lips. Isaac, that's bullshit. It can't fuck with Northern Lights. Isaac fastens his lips back on Rachel's lips. They begin to kiss French as Matt responds. Matt, you guys say what you have to say, but all the Northern Lights, Acapulco Gold, and BC Bud can't stand a chance against White Widow. This motherfucker contains the highest percentage of THC of them all. Valeria steals a look at Leo. He catches her eyes. She gives him a soft alluring smile. Matt, if you guys don't believe me, I'll tell you a true story. A black man sat at his home for days watching Debbie Does Dallas porn featuring Bambi Woods, the most famous porn star in the classic era of late 70s. And one night, his Caucasian wife, who worked at a hospital as a nurse, made him cookies, mixing weed, Viagra, and cocaine, before she went to work, graveyard shift. He ate the cookies with a glass of milk, and went to bed. He then got up in the middle of the night with the biggest hard-on in his life, walked out of the house butt naked, got in his car, drove to a Home Depot that opened 24 hours, and buy a white ink. He painted his entire body white, including his dick, comes to the hospital, and fucked his wife till his dick exploded inside her pussy. The next day lightning struck him and died. That is how it got its name, White Widow. His wife came to his funeral, wearing a wedding gown. They all laugh. Matt, that's how ill this weed is. Brandon, that's a funny story. But as much as I want to believe your bullshit, you can't still come to my creep with this cheap grass, and expect me to show you love, son. I want the real thing. Where the coke is at, man. Matt, this is all I got. If you want to sell it, go ahead, and sell it as much as you can, and smoke the rest of it. All I give a fuck about is that I wake up in the morning with a gleam in my eye and money on my hand. I know you can move this shit overnight, Red. Don't be acting like a pussycat that saw a fat rat on a treadmill. The place goes silent. They all look at Matt and Leo as if they're about to kick their ass except Isaac and Rachel. They continue to kiss. There is a pause. Brandon, it's cool. You can come in my house with a couple of ounces of valueless plants that grow in the wilderness, and disrespect me like I'm your homosexual uncle. But I'll check it out before I make pussy out of your greasy ass, motherfucker. To Valeria, where is the pipe? Valeria grabs a pipe from the coffee table, gives Brandon the pipe. Brandon grabs a piece of weed from the bag, places it in the pipe, lights it, and has a puff. No reaction. Brandon passes the pipe to James. James takes the pipe and has a puff. James, this is not weed. It's a dry leaf. Matt, I didn't hear you. James passes the weed to Brandon. Brandon has another puff as Matt and Leo stand looking. Brandon, I'm sorry, man. This is plain grass. I can't feel anything. Matt, what are you talking about? Brandon, what I am saying is I'm on the stage and spitting ghetto him like a leopard on a cold tin roof with claws that secretes neurotoxic venom. If I trip over a lyric, I wouldn't want to know who I am gonna skin alive first. It's bad for business. I can't perform after smoking weed. You can take it back. They said, it causes short-term memory loss. I am done with this Cheech and Chong shit. Have a career to look after. Matt, you're not serious. It's herb, man. I know all rappers smoke weed as it were the oxygen in the air. I know Snoop Dogg couldn't breathe without this. Dude, this is the stuff legends are made of. You can make hash cakes out of it and feed your boys here without losing your character. Where is your fucking ball at, man? The music stops. There is a silent moment. They all look at him as if they were about to kill him. Even Isaac parts his lips from Rachel, and looks at him. There is a long pause. Brandon, it's cool. I have nothing but love for this clown. He has more ball than Genghis Khan, coming here and talking like he has nothing to lose. Kisses Valeria French. Just go get his money. I like his style. Valeria gets up and walks toward the direction of the camera. EXT Matt's car, moving, day. Matt is behind the wheel, holding a cell phone next to his ear. Leo sits in the passenger seat counting money as they drive down the street. On the soundtrack I Just Wanna Love You by Jay-Z plays melodiously. Matt waits for a few seconds. No answer. He hangs up the phone, and puts it in his pocket as Leo finishes counting. Leo, 8,600. Matt, it's not enough. I still have to get the coke from Roger and drop it at the Heights. Leo, how much is it, a kilo of cocaine? Matt, a kilo of cocaine that is 2.2 pounds worth about 20 grand in street market, but Roger can hit us with 10 if I can hold of him. Matt takes out his cell phone, dials the same number and waits. In the meantime, Leo puts the money on a grocery bag, opens the glove box, puts the money inside the box, and closes it. EXT Roxette Strip Club, night. Matt and Leo drive and park the car at the street. Leo steps out the car and sees Desiree, who happens to be leaving the strip club and heading toward a Bentley parked next to the sidewalk. Desiree turns her eyes and looks at Leo. Her bodyguard Max opens the door for her. She gets in the Bentley. Max closes the door, walks around the Bentley, and gets in the car. Leo stands and watches the Bentley. Matt puts coins in the parking meter and joins Leo as the Bentley drives away. Matt, who is that girl? Leo doesn't respond. Matt, as they walk toward the strip club. I sure want to fuck the living instinct out of her pussy and leave her with first-class sin. She is the sexiest girl I've ever seen. Leo smiles softly. The Bentley drives away. Leo and Matt continue to walk toward the strip club. Int. Roxette Strip Club, night. On the stage, Jennifer, an arresting girl, 22, is stripping with Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. Sienna stands at the bar talking to a potential customer. Leo and Matt step in. Matt scans around. Matt, that motherfucker is not here? Sienna looks at Leo, excuses the man, and walks toward Leo. Leo looks at Sienna as she approaches him with joy in her eyes. Sienna, what's up? Leo, nothing much. She gets closer, and throws her arms around his neck. They kiss French and cuddle side by side. Sienna, I have to tell you something. Leo, what's it? She looks at Matt. Leo, this is Matt. Sienna. Sienna, hi. Matt, hi. They shake hands. Sienna, to Leo, what you are up to? Leo, nothing. They begin to walk toward the bar. Out of nowhere Leo produces a red rose and gives her the flower. Sienna, what are you, a magician? Leo, something like that. He kisses her on the cheek. Matt looks over at Roger King, 29, a sly-looking man. As he returns to his table from the restroom, Matt taps Leo on the arm. Matt, he's over there. Leo looks at him. Matt, let me talk to him. Leo nods sure. Matt walks toward Roger. Leo and Sienna come to the bar and stand next to the counter. Samantha is behind the bar. In background, we see Roger and Matt greeting. Leo looks at Samantha, who is busy, serving customers. But she turns her eyes in time and catches Leo's eyes. She gives him a pleasant smile. He returns her smiles with a wink. She gets back to her service. On the stage, Jennifer continues to dance. Leo and Sienna speak with seduction. Leo, how are you? Sienna, I'm fine. Leo, what you want to drink? Sienna, Diet Coke. Leo, why Diet Coke? Sienna, I have to be somewhere tonight. Leo, where? Sienna, it's a secret. Leo, what secret is that? Sienna, if I tell you, I might have to kill you. He smiles softly. Leo, I'm not afraid to die. I am addicted to you. Death is nothing but a sentence that we have to pay for crime that we commit in our hearts. She smiles in beauty. He gives her a soft kiss on the lips. Samantha comes up to them to take their order. Sienna, I'll buy you a drink tonight. Samantha, to Leo, what's up? Leo, nothing much. Samantha, what you drinking tonight? Leo looks at Sienna to make the first order. She looks at him, gives him a sexy smile, and turns her eyes. Sienna, to Samantha, just give Diet Coke. I have to be somewhere tonight. Samantha, what about you? Leo, martini. Samantha, change is good occasionally. Samantha walks on the side and begins to prepare their drinks. Leo and Sienna kiss. On the stage, Jennifer finishes dancing and begins to leave. Leo and Sienna part their lips. Leo, what is it that you were going to tell me? Sienna, I have a stalker. Leo, what stalker? Sienna, this creep, who said he works for a software company, has been coming here for a while. His name is Derek Smith. He kind of scares me. You know, sits at the corner alone and watches me all night. The other day, I was kind of giving him a lap dance. He asked me for my phone number. I told him, we are not allowed to give our contact information to customers. Samantha puts a glass of Diet Coke in front of her. Sienna, thanks. Samantha, to Leo, I'll be with you in a second. Leo nods, okay. He turns his eyes and looks at Matt and Roger, who are sitting across the bar and talking. On the stage, a seductive girl, Vicky, 21, makes her debut. Leo turns his attention back to Sienna as she continues to tell him the story. Sienna, later, I was leaving the club and saw him standing across the street. I ignored him and began to walk toward my car. He followed me. I stopped in the middle of the street, took out my pepper spray and said, what the fuck do you want from me? He said, I just want to talk to you. I told him I didn't have time. And if he did not leave me alone, I would call the fucking police. He took his cell phone out, dialed 911, and said go ahead and talk to them. I will just tell them, I don't want her to think I'm a stalker or anything, but she is most scrumptious girl I have ever seen. I felt like I had to tell her. He then gave me this gold necklace that has S, the initiation of my name, Sienna. She shows him a gold necklace with S, the initiation of her name, engraved in it. Leo looks at the necklace. Leo, that's something. Sienna, he was here earlier. He just left few minutes ago. Samantha places the drink in front of him. Leo, thanks. Samantha, you welcome. Samantha walks away. Leo takes a sip, and looks at Matt, who is sitting at a table with a bottle of beer and talking to Roger. Matt looks at Leo, and gives him a salute with his beer as if he were saying, things are moving smooth. Leo returns his salute with his drink, puts down his glass, and looks at Sienna in the eyes with seduction. Leo, humorously so, you want me to kick his ass? She smiles softly. Sienna, he is just confused, doesn't know I'm going out with you. But I can see through his eyes and tell he's harmless. Leo, maybe. But I didn't want you to get hurt. There are a lot of crazy people, who seem harmless, wouldn't think twice to take advantage of a delicious girl like you. She gets closer to his lips. Sienna, is that so? Leo, without a doubt. They kiss French. The camera slowly moves to Vicky as she continues to strip on the stage. Int. Car, trunk, night. The trunk of a car opens up, revealing Leo, Matt, and Roger. Roger reaches inside and takes out a briefcase. He closes the truck, puts the briefcase on top of the truck, and opens the case, revealing several types of drugs in plastic bags. He points at a drug. Roger, this is meth. I don't want to tell you how it functions. But once it enters your brain, it triggers a gushing discharge of dopamine and takes you the place where they bury your umbilical cord. It literally makes you want to be born again. He points at another drug. Roger, this is PCP, also known as angel dust. It is super psychedelic. It'll take you to the farthest galaxy and leave you in a twilight zone with angels, cherubs, seraphs, and stardust. He points at another drug. Roger, that is killer LSD made by Dr. Strangelove. How I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb in a modern lab. It lasts for 3 straight days, more than the regular LSD that subsists in your system, from 6 to 12 hours depending on your tolerance. Roger picks up a bag of heroin. Roger, call it smack, junk, horse, dust. This is pure heroin, just arrived here the other day straight from the Golden Triangle of Vietnam. And you guys are familiar by now with the term. Quoting transporting, you shoot this diesel. Take the best orgasm you ever had, multiply it by 1,000 and you're still nowhere near it. It gives you the ultimate peace of mind. He puts the heroin back and picks up a kill of cocaine. Roger, this is 100% pure cocaine. It came straight from Colombia 3 days ago, original price is $15,000 per kilo. But I'll give you guys for 10. You can mix it with baking soda, make crack, and sell this shit up to $30,000 per kilo in the street. I don't care. It won't add an inch to my dick. If you guys want to throw a surprise party for Shakira, or snore it like Scarface, and get cozy with Ivanka Trump, the world is yours. He tosses it in the air at the direction of Matt. He catches it, looks over at Leo and gives him a nod. On the soundtrack, 50 Cent AO Technology featuring Justin Timberlake plays melodiously. Int. Nate's house, party, night. We are at Nate's house in the middle of a big house party. On the soundtrack, 50 Cent AO Technology featuring Justin Timberlake continues to play. We see all kinds of people, boys and girls, immature and adults, standing, dancing, sitting, drinking, smoking, inner-city style. Leo and Matt walk through the crowd and come to a man named Nate Pears, 29, who's sitting on the sofa between 2 young beautiful girls, Crystal and Kimberly, while kissing Crystal. Matt and Leo come to the table and stand before him. Nate looks at them, parts his lips, and asks them to sit. They sit on the sofa in front of him. Nate leans forward. There is a whiskey on the coffee table. He grabs the whiskey and pours the liquor in a glass for Matt. Nate asks Leo if he wants a drink. Leo shakes his head no thanks. Nate says something to Matt. Matt takes out the cocaine from his pocket and throws it on the table. Nate grabs the cocaine and asks a man named Trent, who is sitting on a sofa with a big fat cigarette, Chesterfield, to give him a knife. Trent takes out a black Swiss Army knife and gives Nate the knife. Nate opens the bag, takes out a small amount of cocaine with the knife, and snores it. Nate nods, it is good. He puts the cocaine on the table as we see 2 men, Omar and Dave, who are standing by Nate and keeping their eyes on Matt and Leo. Nate kisses Crystal, who is stealing a look over at Leo. Nate collects her dress and takes out 2 stacks of money from her underwear. He pulls his lips, and puts the money on the table. Nate turns, kisses Kimberly, pulls 2 stacks of money from her underwear and throws it on the table. Matt collects the money, and gives Leo 2 stacks. Leo takes them. Matt places the money in his pocket without counting, so does Leo. Matt says something and takes a sip. At the same time, out of nowhere comes Kurt, a wicked-looking man, with Colt .45 and shoots Nate in the chest 3 times. Nate's chest explodes on the spot. Matt drops his glass. AO Technology falls on the background and plays softly. Omar and Dave stand frozen. Kurt shoots on the roof 3 times, and walks away like a ghost. The place goes chaotic. People begin to scream as the place goes nut. Leo gets up. Matt leans forward, reaches for the cocaine and grabs it. Trent sees him. Trent, motherfuckers. Trent goes for his gun. Matt throws the cocaine in his face, turns around, and begins to run toward the exit. Trent, who is not covered with cocaine, gets up, pulls out his gun, and aims at Leo as Matt continues to run toward the exit. Trent slightly hesitates, Looking at the two men, whom he wants to shoot first, Leo, who is standing in front of him few feet away, or Matt who is running like a rabbit. But Leo doesn't give him a chance to think through. He quickly holds Trent's hand, twists his arm, makes him drops the gun and hits him in the back of his neck with martial art. Trent falls down unconscious. Leo then sees Omar and Dave, who are aiding Nate, reaching for their guns. He quickly grabs the whiskey bottle from the coffee table, and throws it at them. The bottle catches Dave on the face as the liquor splatter at Omar. Leo turns and begins to run toward the exit behind Matt. Dave holds his face bleeding. Omar collects himself and begins to fire at Leo and Matt, hitting innocent people who happen to get in his way. Matt and Leo continue to run through the crowd toward the exit. As they're about to exit, Matt sees a lot of people try to squeeze through the door. He takes out his gun and begins to fire in the air, causing more chaos and confusion. Omar continues to fire at them. Matt turns around and fires at him. Leo holds his hand, and pushes him out of the house. EXT Nate's house, night. Leo and Matt begin to walk through the crowd that is running everywhere in disarray. Int. Matt's car, moving, night. Leo is in the passenger seat. Matt sits behind the wheel driving. There is a silent moment. Matt turns on the radio, flips the station around, and put it on a music. Better in Time by Leona Lewis plays pleasantly. Matt, you want to grab some coffee? Leo, I'm fine. Just drop me home. On the soundtrack, Leona Lewis' Better in Time plays with full volume. EXT Matt's car, moving, night. Medium shot of the car moving with Matt and Leo at the direction of the camera. EXT Leo's apartment building, night. Matt and Leo come driving and pull next to the apartment. Leo and Matt shake hands goodbye. Leo steps out of the car, slams the door gently, and walks toward his apartment as Matt drives away in the background. Leo climbs the steps, opens the door, and enters into the building. Int. Leo's apartment, kitchen, night. Leo opens the refrigerator and sees a small box of Minute Maid, orange juice. He grabs the box, and closes the refrigerator. Leo opens a cupboard, takes out a water glass, empties the juice in the glass, half full, throws the carton in the trash, and walks to the living room. Living room. Leo comes to the bar. There is a scotch on the counter. He grabs it, mixes the scotch with the juice, puts down the bottle, takes a sip, and stands silent for a couple of seconds. On the soundtrack, Better in Time continues to play melodiously. Leo then turns his eyes, and sees a remote control on the coffee table. He walks toward the table, grabs the remote control, sits on the sofa, turns on the TV, and begins to watch SportsCenter, football highlights with Chris Berman, who is talking about the preview of Super Bowl New England Patriots vs Atlanta Falcons. Leo takes few sips, pulls out a cigarette, lights it, and begins to smoke as he continues to watch the TV. He then closes his eyes. Int. Leo's apartment, bathroom, night. Leo rests in the bathtub with his eyes closed, thinking the face of Melissa while smoking a cigarette. Note, we see the following scenes with flashback, superimpose and Leo's point of view. Memory 1. We see Melissa and Leo walking down the park while talking, drinking wines at a romantic restaurant, sitting at a movie theater and watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, starring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. Leo's P.O.V. Melissa tries to feed him a French fry at a restaurant. Leo resists leaning back. She gets up from her chair just a little bit, stretches her hand, and feeds him. He eats out of her hand as she smiles in beauty. Then Sienna comes to the screen. Memory 2, we see Sienna dancing on the stage in flashbacks, talking to Leo at the strip club, sitting at the cafe smiling, one smile after another through Leo's point of view, flashbacks and superimpose as he continues to fall asleep in the bathtub thinking about the people that he loves dearly. Then the image of Sienna changes into Desiree. Memory 3, we see Desiree singing on the stage at Rose Garden, talking to Leo at the bar, looking at his eyes at the coffee shop, leaving Club Rock set, in flashback and superimpose. On the soundtrack, Better in Time continue to play harmoniously. We stay with Leo for a couple of seconds. Int. Restaurant, day. Leo and Matt sit at a booth having pancakes, omelets, chicken sandwich, and coffees. Matt, that's it for me, man. I am dead. He already gave me 3 weeks. I lost it all when I could have paid him last night. And if that motherfucker sees me now eating pancakes here, he will stick this fork in my penis hole and burn me alive, or do something unthinkable like how he killed Frankie, that Guido cut Frankie's dick, and sent his testicles to his stepmother in St. Louis. That bitch said, what is it? Her husband told her it's a dog food. They fed the testicles to their dog. The dog started fucking their cat. Leo smiles softly. Leo, I still don't believe how you took the Falcons over the New England. They are the best team in the league. Matt, my grandmother would have bet her soul on the Dirty Birds if she had heard that the Falcons couldn't cover 3.5 points spread. What can I do about it? The motherfuckers blew up 25 points lead in the third quarter. I would have still won if New England kicked a field goal in overtime. But they scored a touchdown just to fuck up my life and won the game by 6. Leo, that is tough. EXT Diner, day. A 2015 black Mercedes-Benz C300 comes to the diner and parks next to Matt's convertible Oldsmobile at the open parking lot. William and Austin, whom we saw at the Rose Garden with Senator Tom, step out of the car. William, I'll get the food. You stay in the car. Austin, I have to take a leak. They close their doors, and begin to walk toward the dinner. At the door, Leo and Matt step out the diner and run into Austin and William. Austin gives Leo a look as if he had seen him somewhere, but ignores him and enters the restaurant. Leo and Matt continue to walk toward their car. Matt then takes out his car key. Matt, here, take the key. I can't think. You drive. He gives him the key. Leo takes the key. They come to Matt's convertible Oldsmobile. Matt looks at the Benz. Matt, 2015 Benz C300. Matt checks if the door is unlocked as a habit. To his surprise, it is open. Matt looks at Leo. Matt, let me check it out. Matt gets in the car. EXT/int. Mercedes-Benz, day. Matt sees something in the starter. They have forgotten the key in the ignition. Matt, there is God. He starts the car. Matt, thank you, Ludwig van Beethoven. He rolls down the window. Matt, to Leo, follow me, or just meet me at my creep. Leo nods, okay, and gets in the Oldsmobile. Matt drives the Benz. EXT/int. Convertible Oldsmobile, day. Leo starts the car and follows the Benz. EXT Street, day. Matt, navigating the Benz, and Leo, driving the Oldsmobile, get onto the street, and continue to drive down the street. Int. Mercedes-Benz, day. Matt takes out a CD from his chest pocket, and places it on the CD player. TI's Whatever You Like begins to jam on the soundtrack. EXT Street, day. An overhead shot of the Mercedes-Benz C300 and the Oldsmobile driving down the street as we continue to hear TI's Whatever You Like on the soundtrack. EXT Diner, day. An established shot of the diner. William and Austin walk out of the restaurant with drinks and carry-out and find out their Benz is gone. Austin, fuck. William, who is holding the carry-out, looks at Austin. William, didn't I tell you to stay in the fucking car? Austin throws his drink away, takes out his cell, and makes a call. We don't hear the other end of the conversation. Austin, stolen car. Pause. Austin, two males, in their 20s. He listens a bit and hangs up the phone. Austin, they're as good as dead. Int. Mercedes-Benz, moving, day. Matt is driving. EXT Matt's apartment, back alley, day. Matt turns the car and pulls the Benz at his apartment's back alley. Leo comes to the alley and parks the Oldsmobile behind the Mercedes. Matt pops up the hood, gets out the Benz, and walks toward the truck. Matt, let me grab the rest of the money. We'll sell this bitch to Jimmy. I'll pay my debt, and quit gambling for the last time, this bad luck won't leave me alone. Matt opens the trunk and sees something in a black body bag. The music stopped playing. Matt, what the fuck? He turns and looks at Leo, who is sitting and checking the registration of the car. Matt, come check this out. Matt then slowly opens the bag, revealing the face of Sienna. Matt, Jesus Christ. Leo gets out the car. Matt stands frozen. Leo, what's it? Leo comes up to the car, and looks at her. The expression of his face changes into grief. He can't find a word to express his loss. Matt, I'm sorry. There is a silent moment. Matt, I am totally fucked up with my life. I don't know about you. But I can leave the car where I got it, and walk away from this sinless angel like I have never seen the face of grace, Mary, Mother of God, take my chance with Joey, and live the rest of my life with 7.5 fingers. It's your call. Leo, it's okay. We'll get rid of the body. Leo covers the bag behind Sienna's face. Leo, give me your hand. Leo carries the dead body of Sienna from one end, at the head. Matt gets the other end, at the feet. They carry the body out of the car and bring the body behind Matt's car. Matt, I will open the trunk. They put the body on the floor. Matt walks to the car, opens the door, and pops up the truck. Leo opens the truck all the way up. Matt comes to the body. They pick Sienna's corpse and place it on the trunk. Leo closes the trunk. Matt, let me grab the rest of the money. I'll be right back. Matt runs to his apartment, leaving Leo on the screen. Close up, Leo. He takes out a cigarette, lights it, and smokes at the screen. On the soundtrack, Kanye West's Stronger plays melodiously. Int. Jimmy's warehouse, day. It's a huge warehouse. We see a number of new stolen cars. Jimmy, a thug-looking man, 43, stand behind a 2013 blue Jaguar XJ8. Three of his employees, Joshua, Oliver, and Andrew, are working on a new 2008 red Cadillac CTS, a 2014 yellow Ferrari F430 and a 2009 Sliver Toyota Corolla Altis. Mercedes, Leo and Matt, who is behind the wheel, come driving, and pull the Benz next to Jimmy. They step out of the car. Jimmy greets Matt and Leo. We can't hear what they're talking about due to Kanye West's Stronger playing on the foreground of the soundtrack. Jimmy looks at the car, and calls Joshua, who is working behind the Cadillac. Joshua steps out of the car, comes to the Benz, and begins to check the car, gets behind the wheel, turns the ignition, starts the car, and pops up the hood. He gets out the car, comes to the front, opens the hood, and looks at the engine. Joshua closes the hood and gives Jimmy a nod. It's good. Jimmy says few words to Matt. Matt responds. Jimmy walks to his office, leaving Leo and Matt on the screen. Matt says something to Leo. Leo nods sure. We then see an employee named Albert walking toward a new 2009 white Nissan Maxima sedan parked next to a black 2005 Hummer H3. He is holding a can of Coke, takes a sip, and looks at Leo suspiciously. Int. Jimmy's warehouse, later. Leo and Matt stand waiting for Jimmy. Jimmy returns and hands Matt 2 stacks of money. Matt takes the money and gives a stack to Leo. Leo takes the money. They both put the money in their pockets without counting. Then Joshua comes to the garage driving a red convertible 1995 Ferrari F355 Spider and pulls the car next to Leo. Joshua steps out the car with paperwork like bills of sale and registration, and gives Leo the paper. Leo takes the paperwork and gets in the car. Ferrari. Leo opens the glove box, puts the paperwork in the box, closes it and checks out the car. He starts the car and steps on the gas without moving. Ferrari. Smoke leaves out the car's cylinder. Ferrari, Leo. He looks at the stereo. It works just fine. He seems satisfied, steps out of the car, takes a couple of $100 from his pocket, and gives Jimmy the money. Jimmy counts the money like a clerk that spent most his life in a bank. Meanwhile, Andrew comes with a shove and gives the tool to Matt. Matt takes the shove and looks over at Leo, who seems sad. EXT desert, night. Matt and Leo dig a hole in the middle of the desert with shoves. We stay with them for a couple of seconds. Grave hole. Leo and Matt come to the grave, carrying the dead body of Sienna, put the corpse in the hole, and begin to cover it with dirt. Int. Little Italy Pizza Shop, night. It's a classic pizza shop. Leo sits at a table gazing at a slice of pizza. On the soundtrack, Frank Sinatra's Luck Be a Lady plays melodiously. At the restaurant, there are a healthy number of customers sitting at the tables and enjoying slices of pizzas, spaghettis, salads, glasses of wines, soft drinks, and other things. We then move through the wall. Kitchen. Sitting on a stool, a fat man Joe aka Joey, 48, counts the money. Matt stands and watches him as we see the cooks, waiters, and waitress in the background moving, and 4 goons sitting at a table, playing cards, and a young man Roberto, 24, standing and watching the game. Joey finishes counting the money and tosses the money on the kitchen table, gets up from the stool, calls Roberto and tells him to recount the money. Roberto grabs the money. Joe comes to Matt, throws his arm over his shoulder, and begins to walk him out of the kitchen while telling him something wise. Restaurant. Leo looks at Matt and Joey talking at the kitchen entrance, turns his eyes, and sees a little girl eating a slice of pizza. She is sitting at a table with her mother and father across Leo's table. She looks at him, gives her a friendly smile, turns his eyes, and looks at her mother. The mother is staring at Leo as the father sits at the table, gorging on lasagna. The mother gives him a lovely smile. Leo returns her smile politely, turns his eyes, grabs his pizza, and thinks about taking a bite, but puts it back. Leo gets up, takes out $50, puts the money on the table and walks at the direction of the camera. Int. Rose Garden, night. On the stage, Desiree sings Can't Take My Eyes Off You. Then Leo steps into the club. Desiree looks at him. He comes to an open table, takes a seat, and begins to watch her in wonder. Desiree continues to sing, gazing at Leo. Leo watches her. We can sense a strong sexual attraction between them. A waitress comes to Leo's table to take order. Waitress, what can I get you? Leo, Scotch, double. Waitress, I will be with you in a minute. The waitress walks away. Leo takes out a cigarette, lights the cigarette, and begins to smoke. Close up, Desiree. She continues to sing. Leo continues to watch her. Desiree then finishes singing and walks to her dressing room. Leo looks at her, smokes, crashes the cigarette on the ashtray, and breathes out the fog. Int. Desiree's dressing room, night. Desiree sits behind the mirror, fixing her makeup while smoking cigarette. There is a glass of scotch on the table. She grabs the glass, takes a sip, and puts down the glass. Then Leo walks in. Desiree looks at him through the mirror. Desiree, why do I feel like you're stalking me? Leo, have you thought about thou art extremely beautiful? And you have a radiant face that attracts stalkers? She smiles at him tenderly through the mirror. There is a pause. She applies a makeup on her lips. Desiree, talking to him through the mirror, what brings you here? Leo, I came to ask you few questions. Pause. Desiree, what is it? Leo, what do you know about a girl named Sienna? Desiree takes a drag from her cigarette, crashes it on an ashtray, gets up, and breathes the smoke on his face as she stands in front of him. Desiree, what do you really have in your mind? Leo, I saw you the other day, leaving the club. This audio file was created by Panopreader Basic. You can download it at www.panopreader.com. What were you doing there? There is a silent moment. They gaze at each other's eyes with seduction. She senses tender yet agonizing sexual desire in his eyes and questions if he's there to find out the truth, or to flirt with her. But she doesn't bother to answer her own question. Desiree, I have a show to do. She walks by him. He holds her arms. Unlike the first time, he grasps her firmly, and turns her to face him. Leo, I found her in the truck of a Mercedes. I thought you might know something. She looks at him seductively as if she had his heart in her palm. He lets her arms go. Simultaneously, her bodyguard Max comes to the dressing room and stands at the door. Desiree gives Max a nod. It is okay, Max. We're just talking. Max gives Leo a hard look. Leo ignores him and looks at Desiree in the eyes silently. She studies his eyes as well. She then. Desiree, I came to see a friend, who dancer there, didn't find her and left. If you don't believe me, you can ask Max. Max stares at Leo, who continues to gaze at Desiree's eyes. Desiree, seductively by his lips, will you excuse me? They are waiting for me. I have to get back to the stage. She walks away leaving Leo on the screen. Leo watches her, turns his eyes and looks at Max, who is there to make sure Leo is causing no trouble and leaves the club without a dilemma. Leo ignores Max, exits Desiree's dressing room, and walks toward the direction of the camera. EXT Street, phone booth, night. Leo makes a call. On the soundtrack, we hear Desiree singing Diana Krall's The Look of Love. Int. Rose Garden, night. On the stage, Desiree sings Diana Krall's The Look of Love. Int. Brad's house, night. On a table, we see a rose in a vase, a candle, 2 glasses of red wine and seafoods. Brad sits at the dinner table with an extremely attractive girl, Amanda Fox, 26, enjoying a romantic dinner. Then he hears his cell phone ringing in his pocket. Brad excuses Amanda, reaches his pocket, takes out his cell phone, and looks at the number. He gets up and walks to the kitchen as he answers the phone. Kitchen. Brad stands next to the kitchen table and talks to Leo. EXT phone booth, night. Close up, Leo. He talks to Brad. But we don't hear what he is saying due to The Look of Love by Desiree. Int. Brad's house, kitchen, night. Brad, talking on the phone, looks at Amanda, who is at the living room taking a sip from her wine. He turns, says few words on the phone and hangs up the phone. Brad then opens the first cupboard, and takes out his .357 Magnum revolver and batch. Living room. Amanda sits, waiting for Brad. She grabs her glass and has another sip. Brad returns to the living room, sits in front of her, and tells her something. She smiles softly. He then says something else. The expression of her face changes to sad. Int. Rose Garden, night. Desiree continues to sing. We stay with her for a couple of seconds. EXT/int. Diner, night. We see Leo sitting at a booth with coffee through the window. A waitress refills his coffee and walks away. Then Brad comes driving his 2004 Mustang Cobra and parks his car next to Leo's Ferrari. Brad steps out of the car, walks to the diner, comes to Leo's table, and sits opposite to Leo. They have few words. Then they get up. Leo takes out a couple of dollars, drops the money on the table, and follows Brad as he walks toward the exit. They step out the diner, and walk toward their cars. Leo comes to his Ferrari and gets behind the wheel. Brad gets in his Mustang. Leo drives away. Brad follows him. Int. Rose Garden, night. Close up, Desiree. She continues to sing melodically. EXT Desert, night. Leo, holding a shave, and Brad, carrying a flashlight, come to Sienna's gravesite. They find a hole excavated and see the dead body of Matt where they buried Sienna. There is a bullet hole in his forehead. The music then winds down. Leo stands cold. Brad, who's that? Leo says nothing. Brad looks at the body with his flashlight. Brad, is that your friend? Leo, he's dead. Brad, no joke. He is dead like a squirrel that got bitten by a king cobra. Leo, they killed him. Brad, who killed him? Leo, probably, the same guys, who killed the girl. They must have found out that we stole the car, killed him, took her body, dumped him, and walked away. Brad, takes out his cell phone. I got to call homicide and see what they can do about this hotshot. Leo, wait a second. We said no cops. You promised me you would take care of this alone. I just got out of prison. It was the worst 2 years of my life. I can't go back while I'm still alive. Brad, okay. Just tell me, where did you sell the car? We will take it from there. EXT Jimmy's warehouse, night. Brad's car. Brad and Leo come driving the Mustang and pull the car in front of Jimmy's warehouse. They step out of the vehicle, and walk toward the door. The warehouse's doors are left open. Int. Warehouse, night. Leo and Brad enter the warehouse and see the dead bodies of Oliver, Joshua, and Andrew on the floor, shot in the heads, and the corpse of Jimmy blasted in the chests down the ground. Brad, what do we have here? Leo is silent. Brad, 4 dead bodies. How did you get yourself into this mess? Leo remains silent. Brad moves around, looking for the car. Brad, where is the car? Leo searches for Benz. The car is not there. Leo, it's not here. Brad, what you mean, it's not here, it's a Mercedes? Leo, a 2008 black Mercedes-Benz C300. They must have taken it. They look around, find nothing. EXT/int. Brad's car, moving, night. Brad and Leo drive down the street. In the meantime, Brad takes out his cell phone and calls police. Brad, there have been multiple homicides and a murder. 2129. Send police. EXT Brad's car, moving, night. A medium shot of the Mustang as Brad and Leo continue to drive in the streets of Vegas. EXT Roxette, Strip Club, Night. Corvette convertible. Brad and Leo come to the strip club driving and pull the car next to Leo's Ferrari F355 Spider parked next the sidewalk at a parking meter. Corvette convertible. Leo opens the door and gets out of the car. Brad, here, take the gun. You might need it. Brad gives him the revolver. Leo takes the gun. Leo, take care. Brad, be careful. Leo closes the door. Brad drives, leaving Leo on the screen. Leo walks toward the club and enters the joint. EXT/int. Corvette convertible, moving, night. Brad takes out his cell phone and calls Amanda. Int. Brad's house, bedroom, night. We see Amanda sleeping. The answering machine picks up Brad's voice. Answering machine, Brad's voice high. Dreamboat, it's me, Brad. I'll be home soon. I have to check something at the station. Love you. Bye. She opens her eyes, smiles at the camera softly, closes her eyes and goes back to sleep. Int. Corvette convertible, moving, night. Brad puts the phone in his pocket and continues to drive down the road. Then, in a heartbeat, out of nowhere come a black Escalade SUV cuts Brad at the next block. A bad guy comes out of the passenger window and fires at him. Brad ducks, and steps on the brake. The car slides down. Brad quickly turns the wheel, drives around the SUV dexterously, and moves down the street. Meanwhile, two Escalades SUVs come from the same block, and begin to chase him. Corvette. Brad looks at them in the rear view, steps on the gas and drives faster. The speedometer shows 145 miles per hour going 160 miles per hour. The trucks continue to follow him from the distance. Corvette. Brad continues to drive faster as if he saw the ghost of Paul Revere, a well-known figure, who took a midnight ride with a horse to tell the Patriots that British forces were moving against the colonists during the Revolutionary War. Brad then looks at the rear view and sees the three Escalade SUVs following him. He takes out Desert Eagle from his vest belt, puts the gun on the passenger seat, makes a crazy U-turn, and drives at the direction of SUVs. A medium shot of the Corvette with Brad driving at the opposite direction. Concurrently, two bad guys in SUV-1 pick up the speed and come after Brad. Corvette, moving. Brad grabs his gun from the passenger seat, fires at the bad guys hitting the driver in the face through the window. SUV-1 hits the pavement, flips in the air, and crashes. Brad continues to shoot at SUV-2, hitting two bad guys. Truck 2 turns, hits a light post, and explodes like a bad firework in Macau. Brad then finishes SUV-3 shooting at the window and hitting last two goons as he continues to drive at the opposite direction. SUV-3 drives off the road, and hits a tree carrying two dead bad guys. EXT/int. Corvette convertible, moving, night. Brad drives 3 blocks down, turns at the next block, and continues to move down the street. EXT Desiree's Bentley, moving, night. Desiree's Bentley comes driving and pulls next to an apartment complex. Max gets out of the driver's seat, walks around the car, and opens the rear door. Desiree exits in ease. Desiree, I'll be right back. You'll take me to the drugstore. He nods sure and stands by the car. She walks toward the apartment. Int. Elevator, moving, night. It's one of those classic elevators that are built before the invention of time, figuratively speaking. But it's an old vintage elevator that we see movie made in the 80s. Desiree stands inside the elevator as it moves up in slow motion. Int. Apartment, hallway, night. Desiree walks through the hallway, comes to her apartment room number 510, and opens the door. Int. Desiree's apartment, night. Desiree steps into the apartment, closes the door, and sees Leo sitting on a couch, and pointing the revolver at her. Desiree ignores him, and walks to the bar. Leo looks at her. She grabs 2 glasses and a bottle of Black Label, scotch, opens the top, and begins to pour the liquor in the glasses. Desiree, do I know you? Leo, I believe we met a couple of times. There is a silent moment. She pours the drink in a glass. Close up, Desiree. She finishes pouring, puts down the bottle, and turns to get ice. Desiree, how did you find out where I live? Leo, 6th sense. She gets the ice from the refrigerator, puts the ice on the counter, and looks at him with seduction. Desiree, what is 6th sense? Leo, intuition. I know where a concupiscent girl like you lives without being told. Desiree, that's something. He lowers his gun, gets up, and walks toward her. Leo, I'm one of those few people who are blessed with extrasensory perception. She smiles softly. He comes to the private bar and stands, near her. Desiree, you want ice? Leo, it won't hurt. She jabs the ice with ice pick like Sharon Stone, retrieves some ice, puts the rocks in the scotches, and places scotch in front of him. Leo places the gun on the counter, takes the drink, has a sip, and puts down the glass on the bar. There is a silent moment. They gaze at each other eyes with seduction. Desiree, what's it? Leo, tell me who killed Sienna. Desiree, I told you I don't know anything, came to the club to see a friend. But they said she called in sick. And I left the club. Leo, that's not what I heard. The girl said they saw you talking to her. She gives him a seductive look. Desiree, Can I see this gun? Desiree picks up the gun and looks at it. Desiree, what's it? Leo, 357 Magnum revolver. Desiree, is it loaded? He reaches into his pocket, takes out 6 bullets, and places them on the counter. Leo, I'm not here to harm you. But I need to know the truth. Desiree, softly, the truth hurts like a bitch. She gives him a seductive smile, takes a bullet, inserts it on the chamber, and points the gun at him. Desiree, is it Bobby or John who said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country? Leo doesn't respond. Desiree, never mind, just tell me who said, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today. Leo remains silent, gazing at her eyes softly. There is a pause. She then. Desiree, aren't you afraid of death? He opens a button, collects his shirt, and gives her his chest to shoot. Leo, go ahead. Just shoot me and take me out of my misery. I'm a heartbeat away from death ever since I laid my eyes on you. Desiree smiles at him softly. She takes another bullet. Desiree, just in case if I miss. Or perhaps, one bullet would not kill you. She inserts the second bullet in the chamber, comes and stands next to him pointing the gun down. They gaze at each other's eye tenderly as if they wanted to kiss. She then points the gun at his dick. Desiree, kiss me like you mean it. If you don't, I will shoot your penis. Then when they are about to kiss, a bullet from a shotgun blasts the door. Leo quickly grabs Desiree, takes the gun from her hand, and hides her behind the bar. At the same time, 2 bad guys kick the door, open it wide, and enter with a shotgun and a .45 handgun. The bad guys see Leo and Desiree at the bar, and fire at them. Leo covers Desiree, and fires 2 shots. He hits the first bad guy in the neck and the other in the eye. The bad guys go down dead. Leo and Desiree get up. Leo takes the rest of the bullet from the counter and puts them in his pocket. He gives Desiree his hand. Leo, come on. We have to get out of here. She takes his hand. They come to the door and begin to exit. Living room and hallway. Out of nowhere 2 mercenaries come with machine guns, and fire at Leo and Desiree. Leo quickly pulls Desiree's arm from the hallway, and hides her back to the living room. Leo, wait a second. Leo takes the bullet out of his pocket, loads his gun, comes out the hide, fires twice without succession, and gets back as they fire at him back. Leo takes a deep breath, turns his eyes, and sees the .45 on the floor. He throws the magnum away and grabs the .45 from the floor. Leo then comes out the hide and fires at the bad guys, hitting one of the bad guys in the chest. The bad guy goes down. The other bad guy fires at Leo. Leo hides, comes out the hide, takes 2 quick shots, and hits the last bad guy in the throat. But wait. 2 more bad guys come from the stairs with machine guns. Int. Desiree's apartment, night. Leo turns, and takes Desiree's arm. Leo, come this way. They run toward the window. Ext Desiree's apartment, fire escape, night. Leo and Desiree exit through the window, take the fire escape, and come down the steps. Shortly, the 2 bad guys step out of the window and fire at Leo and Desiree as they reach the ground. Leo covers Desiree, moves on the side, and hides her by the trash container. Leo comes out the hide and fires at the bad guys. They exchange few shots. Leo then hits both in the legs through the ladder. They go down injured. Leo takes Desiree's arm. Leo, come on. They walk down the back street, turn at the corner, and run down the alley. Leo and Desiree come to the other side of the building and turn where a mercenary stands at, next to a black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, holding a machine gun. The bad guy sees them and cocks his gun. Leo quickly shoots him twice in the chest. The bad guy goes down dead. Leo takes Desiree's arm. Leo, come on. They walk toward the Bentley and find Max shot in the head. Desiree stands crying. Desiree, they killed Max. Leo, I am sorry. We have to go. He takes her arm. They cross the street, and come to his convertible Ferrari. Leo opens the door, gets in the car, and starts the automobile as Desiree comes around. He opens the door for her. She gets in and closes the door. They drive away. Ext/int. Convertible Ferrari, moving, night. Leo and Desiree continue to drive in the street of Vegas. Leo looks at Desiree. She catches his eyes and gives him a mysterious look. He turns his attention back to the road and continues to drive silently. On the soundtrack, Nat King Cole's I Love You for Sentimental Reasons plays melodiously. Int. Brad's house, bedroom, night. Amanda is sleeping. Brad walks in, looks at her, comes slowly and kisses her on the lips. She opens her eyes. Amanda, what took you so long? Brad, I ran into trouble. Amanda, what trouble? Brad, it's a long story. I will tell you in the morning. He gives her another soft kiss on the lips. She throws her arms around his neck. They kiss more intimately. Ext Motel, night. Leo and Desiree come driving and pulls their car in front of the motel. Ext Motel, room 310, night. Porch. Leo, standing next to the light frame wall, makes a phone call. Int. Brad's house, bedroom, night. There is no one in the bedroom. We see Brad's cell phone in the bed, blinking green. We then travel through the wall, and comes to the bathroom. Int. Bathroom, night. Brad and Amanda are making love in the shower. We see the outline of their naked bodies through the glass tent. EXT Motel, room 310, night. Leo walks up and down waiting for an answer. Leo then stops moving, stands next to the light frame wall, and looks at the swimming pool, 3 floors down as he continues to wait. Int. Motel, room 310, night. We see Desiree lying on the bed with close eyes. EXT Motel, room 310, night. Leo hangs up the phone, walks toward room 310, and opens the door. Int. Motel, room 310, night. Leo steps in and closes the door. Desiree opens her eyes, and looks at him. Desiree, what did he say? Leo, he's not picking up the phone. I'll call him in the morning. He looks at a couch near the door. Leo, take the bed. I'll sleep here. He sits on the couch. Desiree, don't be silly. Slides on the side, there is enough space for both of us. Leo, it's okay. I'm fine here. Desiree, taps the bed with her hand. Come on. I want to ask you a couple of questions. He gets up, walks to the bed, and lies on his back. She leans next to him, gazing at his eyes as we continue to hear Nat King Cole's I Love You for Sentimental Reasons on the soundtrack. There is a pause. She then. Desiree, I have to tell you something. Leo, what is it? Desiree, Sienna. Leo, what about her? Desiree, I know who killed her. Leo, what do you mean? Desiree, I was there. That night. I asked her if she wanted to make money. A private party at Senator Tom Clubhouse. On the soundtrack, Crystal Waters' 100% Pure Love plays melodiously. Int. Senator Tom's Clubhouse, Condominium, night. Flashback. We see Sienna stripping with Crystal Waters' 100% Pure Love while smoking cigarette with style. Senator Tom sits on the sofa watching Sienna with a bottle of whiskey. Desiree stands at the private bar cutting cocaine with a credit card on the counter. Desiree lines cocaine, and takes a snore. She then pours a wine, and takes a sip as Sienna continues to strip. She is nude. There is a pillow. Sienna then lies on the floor, resting her head on the pillow. She seductively opens her legs and begins to stimulate her clitoris vigorously while smoking cigarette. Desiree comes to Tom, sits next to him. Tom drinks out of the bottle. Desiree puts her glass on a small coffee table next to the sofa. She then unbuttons Tom's shirt, and begins to caress his chest. Yet Tom is into Sienna, who continues to stimulate her clitoris while making sounds like a porn star. She still has the cigarette on her hand. Tom gets up and pours the whiskey on Sienna's vagina as she continues to finger herself. She then pees as she reaches orgasm. That turns Tom on, puts the whiskey aside, removes his clothes, gets between Sienna's legs naked, and kiss her breasts. Desiree takes a cigarette from a box, grabs her cell phone from the small table, gets up, and walks toward the porch as Tom and Sienna continue to fool around. Note, the peeing part will be completely edited during filming and replaced by appropriate materials that are suitable to the general audiences. Int. Motel, room 310, night. Back to, Desiree and Leo. Leo gets up from the bed and sits at the table. Desiree moves from the center of the bed and sits at the edge of the bed facing Leo as she continues to tell him what happened. Desiree, I stood on the porch, and begin to smoke. Int. Senator Tom's Clubhouse, porch, night. Flashback. Desiree stands on the porch smoking cigarette behind a spectacular clubhouse with marvelous golf courses and amazing lake view. She then hears her cell phone vibrating on her hand. Desiree, voiceover. Meanwhile, Mark, my ex, called me. She answers the phone. Desiree, voiceover. We talked about things that weren't important at first. He then told me how much he missed me and all. EXT Motel, room 310, night. Back to, Desiree and Leo. Desiree, he said he wanted to get back with me. I told him I would think about it, and hanged up the phone. Int. Senator Tom's Clubhouse, porch, night. Flashback. Close up, Desiree. Desiree hangs up the phone. She then hears screaming. Desiree, I then heard Sienna screaming. Walks toward the entrance, looked through the glass, and saw Tom strangling Sienna. She stands frozen. Crystal Waters' 100% Pure Love plays louder. Int. Senator Tom's Clubhouse, Condominium, night. Tom has his belt around Sienna while fucking her behind. She can't breathe. He continues to enter her while strangling the poor girl. He then comes inside her and collapses on the floor as she lies lifeless with a belt around her neck. Angle on the porch entrance. Desiree stands recording Tom with her cell phone. Angle on Tom. Tom then stands up on his feet naked, looks at Sienna without sympathy, turns his eyes, and looks at the direction of the porch. There is nothing. Tom walks toward the table, removes his coat from a chair, takes his gun from a holster, and heads toward the porch naked. EXT Senator Tom's Clubhouse, porch, night. Desiree stands on the porch smoking as if she saw nothing. Tom steps out, and looks at her. She keeps on smoking, gazing at the lake. He comes, and stands next to her. They look at each other's eyes. Tears fill her eyes. She looks down. He lifts her chin and gives her a soft kiss on the nose. Tom, I'm sorry. She cuddles him and cries on his shoulder. He hugs her. Tom, I'll make it up to you. EXT Motel, room 310, night. Back to Leo and Desiree. Leo, where is it? Desiree gets up from the bed, collects her dress, takes out her cell phone from her underwear, and gives the cell phone to him. Leo looks at the video. Int. Cafe, morning. Leo and Desiree sit at a table with omelets, chicken sandwich, coffee, and Diet Coke. They are silent. Desiree then. Desiree, are you mad at me? Leo, no, I'm not. Pause, eating. She then. Desiree, what are we going to do now? Leo, I have to call my brother, find out what he knows, and tell him everything. Desiree, can you trust him, I mean is he your real brother? Leo, why did you ask? Desiree, Sienna told me he is not your real brother. Your parents adopted him like Robert Duvall in The Godfather. Leo, he is my aunt's son, a single mother. She had him out of wedlock. Then had to move to London to do shows, and left him with my parents, so they could adopt him unofficially when he was 8. Later, she died of drug overdose. You know, she was a stage actress, started doing drugs to overcome her stage fright, and got hooked. Then one day, she had a bad review, got into a fight with her boyfriend, took a ton of sleeping pills, and killed herself. My parents then adopted her son officially. I know him since I was kid. I think I can trust him. Leo grabs his coffee, and has a sip. Desiree gives him a beautiful smile, and eats her omelet. At the door, a police officer walks in, comes to the counter, and sits on a stool. The cop looks at Leo. Leo acts innocent. The police officer turns his eyes and gets ready to make an order. A waitress approaches him. Waitress, what can I get you? Cop, give me coffee and scrambled eggs with bacon and biscuits. She writes it down. Waitress, anything else? Cop, that's all, sweetheart. She turns and gives the order to a cook. Pan 2, Leo and Desiree. Leo takes a sip from his coffee and puts down the cup. Leo, I'll be right back. He gets up and walks toward the exit. EXT Cafe, morning. Leo steps out of the cafe and comes to a phone booth. Phone booth. Leo grabs the phone, inserts quarters, and makes a call. Int. Brad's house, living room, morning. Brad and Amanda sit at the dinner table. Brad is eating cereal, Amanda is having pancakes while watching TV. Amanda, is it morning or night the best time to exercise? I want to keep up with you on bed. Brad, sex itself is exercise. Amanda, I'm serious. I want to be cut like you. Brad, both night and morning work fine for me. Brad's cell phone rings. He reaches into his pocket, takes out his cell phone, and answers it. Brad, hello. Int. Brad's house, living room / EXT phone booth, morning. Leo talks on the phone. Note, we see both sides of the conversation. Leo, it's me Leo. Brad, what's up, Leo? Leo, Senator Tom killed Sienna. Brad, what are you talking about? Leo, he strangled her. This girl, who sings at the Rose Garden, Desiree got him in her cell phone. Brad, come again. Leo, I have a cell phone with Senator Tom strangling Sienna, whom I was telling you about last night. Brad, wait a second. I just called homicide this morning. They said they found the body of a 21-year-old girl named Sienna Tyler at your apartment. Where did you go last night? Amanda is flipping the channel around, puts it on the news by accident, and sees the picture of Leo and Desiree wanted for the death of Sienna. Int. Cafe, morning. The police officer is watching news on the TV while gorging on his scrambled eggs. On the soundtrack, Stevie Wonder's Superstition plays melodiously. Close up, Desiree. She takes a sip out her soda. The police officer steals a look over at Desiree. She gives him a polite smile. He returns her smile. Desiree puts down her soda on the table. The police officer turns his attention back to the TV. TV. They continue to address news. Then, the pictures of Leo and Desiree come on the TV wanted for the death of Sienna. The police officer looks at Desiree, quickly takes out his gun. At the same time, Stevie Wonder's Superstition falls on the background and plays softly. Cop, freeze. Don't move. Out of nowhere comes Leo, and points his gun at the police officer. Leo, drop your gun or I will blow your fucking brain off to Kingdom Comes. The police officer drops the gun. Leo, move on the side, and put your hands on the counter. The police officer does what Leo just said. Leo picks up the cop's gun. Leo, to the crowd everybody, be cool. I will just have few words with this gentleman and walk out of this place without harming anyone. Just go back to what you were doing, eat, drink, and enjoy yourself. Meanwhile, Desiree gets up and approaches Leo. Leo, gives the gun to her. Hold this gun, and if he makes the slightest move, shoot him between his eyes. Desiree takes the gun and points the gun at the police officer. Leo takes the cup from the cop. Leo, what's your name, sir? Cop, officer, Reggie Noel. Leo, Reggie, do me a small favor. Just relax. He takes Reggie's arms behind, and cuffs him. Leo, turns his around. Where is the key for your car? Reggie, it's in my chest pocket. Leo takes the key from the police officer's pocket. Leo, to Desiree, come on, let's go. Holds the cop's arm like a prisoner. You're coming with us, Reggie. They walk toward the exit. On the soundtrack, Stevie Wonder's Superstition plays with full volume. EXT Cafe, Day. Desiree, Leo, and Officer Reggie Noel exit the cafe. They come to the police's car, Ford Crown Victoria. Leo opens the door, places the police officer in a suspect transport enclosure, and closes the door. He opens the driver door, gets in the driver's seat, and opens the door for Desiree. She enters and closes the door. Leo starts the car. They drive away. Int. Police cars, moving, day. Leo and Desiree continue to drive. Leo looks at the police officer in the rearview mirror, turns his eyes, and focuses on the road. On the soundtrack, Stevie Wonder's Superstition falls on the background and plays melodiously. Desiree, can I ask you a question? Leo, what's it? Desiree, why are we taking him with us? Leo, we can't take a chance. Desiree, you're taking twice the risk of getting in a lot of trouble if the authorities see us driving a police car with a cop in a suspect transport enclosure. He looks at her. Leo, so, what are you suggesting? Desiree, I am not suggesting anything. You're the one who decided to bring him along. You figure it out. Leo, should we put him in the truck? Desiree, that's not funny. Leo, I'm not trying to be funny. On the soundtrack, Lenny Kravitz's Are You Gonna Go My Way plays melodiously, replacing Stevie Wonder's Superstition. On the background, we see Officer Reggie Noel in the suspect transport enclosure. He looks lost and uncertain. Leo and Desiree continue to drive down the street. EXT Street, police car, moving, day. Medium shot of the police car driving with Leo, Desiree, and the police officer. Then comes another police car, Ford Crown Victoria, carrying two officers, at the opposite direction, and drives by Leo and Desiree. Police car 2 drives a little bit, and then stops in the middle of the road. The two cops look at each other, make a U-turn, light the red and blue emergency light, turn on their alarm, and begin to follow Leo and Desiree. Police car 1, moving. Desiree turns around and looks at them. Desiree, they're following us? Leo, relax. I've got everything under control. Leo sees police car 2 following them in the rearview mirror, steps on the gas, rolls the wheel, passes a couple of cars that are in front of him and takes off like a spaceship as we hear Lenny Kravitz's Are You Gonna Go My Way with full volume. The two police officers continue to pursue them. Police car 1, moving. Leo and Desiree get in a highway, and drive faster, passing one car after another like Michael Schumacher in Meth. It's a figure of speech, but they are flying like a missile. The two police officers continue to follow them. Then out of nowhere come more police officers and begin to chase Leo and Desiree as they continue to fly like jet with full speed, passing one car after another. Police car 1, moving. Leo and Desiree continue to drive. He looks tranquil as dry wind. At the same time, it seems she doesn't care whether she lives or die. It's hard to read her face, but she is calm as spring weather. Then a helicopter comes and starts to follow them. Leo and Desiree drive down the road and take an exit. Leo and Desiree's police car. Leo and Desiree get out of the ramp, drive down the street, run a red light, and continue to move down the street like the Fast and the Beautiful. The cops and helicopter continue to follow them. Leo and Desiree then come to a shopping mall, make a turn, and enter a parking garage. Int. Shopping mall, parking garage, day. Police car 1. Leo and Desiree drive through the garage. Int. Shopping mall, parking garage, police car, day. Leo and Desiree come driving and park the car at the 3rd floor. Leo opens the door. Leo, come on. Let's get out of here. Desiree looks at the police officer. Desiree, what about the cop, should we uncuff his hands? Leo, forget him. Leo gets out of the car. Desiree steps out of the vehicle as well. Leo comes around the car. Leo, this way. He gives her hand. She takes his hand. They walk toward the entrance. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Int. Shopping mall, day. Leo and Desiree walk through the crowd, blending with the customers. We then see police officers and SWAT team moving toward Leo and Desiree from the opposite direction. Leo holds Desiree arms. Leo, come on. They enter Macy. Int. Shopping mall, Macy, day. Leo and Desiree walk in and move in the middle of the store. EXT shopping mall, open parking garage, day. Leo and Desiree, wearing cool outfits and sunglasses, come to a 2000 yellow Pontiac GTO convertible. Leo gets in. She stands next to the door. Leo hotwires the car and starts the automobile like a magician. Leo, get in. She gets by Leo through the driver's seat and sits at the passenger seat. Leo closes the door, only puts one hand on the wheel, and steps on the gas. They drive away. EXT/int. Pontiac GTO convertible, moving, day. Leo and Desiree continue to drive down the street. Int. This audio file was created by Panopreader Basic. You can download it at www.panopreader.com. Senator Tom's office, day. Tom sits behind his desk with his eyes closed and his hands in a praying mood. He is obviously thinking hard. We see a furtive-looking man standing at the office. His name is Richard Douglas, 37, the chief advisor of the senator. He is waiting for a word from Tom. At the same time, we see the record of Leo and Desiree on the table with their photos. Tom looks at the picture of Leo and lifts his eyes. Tom, who is he? Richard, he is a felon. He spent 4 months in jail for stealing a French diplomat car when he was 18. He hacked NASA, and got arrested, but judge let him walk free with a warning. He then joined the United States Marine Corps but got discharged after a misconduct with a female officer. He was questioned a couple of times for stealing cars but never charged. Later, he hacked into FBI database for his amusement. It was his second offense. He spent 2 years in a federal prison for accessing classified government information without authority and released in probation. They told him not to touch a computer for 3 years. There is a pause. Tom, where are they now? Richard, we don't know for sure, but they were spotted driving a stolen yellow Pontiac GTO at a shopping mall. There's a knock at the door. Tom, come in. The door opens. Tom's secretary, Sarah, 27, steps in. Sarah, Mr. McCoy is here. Tom, send him in. Sarah nods sure, and steps out closing the door behind. Tom, to Richard, do whatever it takes. I want you to find them before things get out of hand. Richard nods okay, walks to the exit, and opens door, revealing a tough-looking man, Dylan McCoy, 35. Richard moves aside to let Dylan in. Dylan greets him with a nod. Richard returns his greet respectfully. Dylan walks in. Richard steps out, and closes the door off-screen. Tom looks at the picture of Leo and Desiree. Tom, have a seat. Dylan sits on a chair. Tom, how you doing? Dylan, fine. Tom, how is Linda? Dylan, she is with this tycoon, a business magnate, who owns all kinds of things, including sports cars, supermarkets, and space program. They just got married 2 days ago. Tom, I'm sorry to hear that. Dylan, it's okay. Some of us aren't as lucky as others. But we can manage to get by somehow, if not miraculously, while dogs are barking inside our heads. Tom, that's how things feel nowadays. 1 minute, you are on top of the world, the next minute, you find yourself sitting behind a desk, contemplating what must be done next. I want you to go back to China and terminate General Li Wei. I don't want anyone to know about the plutonium. The deal is off. But prior to that, I want you to take care of these 2 outstanding citizens. You have 48 hours. Tom puts the picture of Desiree and Leo in front of Dylan. EXT Pontiac GTO convertible, moving, day. Leo and Desiree are driving in the middle of the desert. Int. Intelligence Agency, Computer Lab, Room A, day. We see a group of computer nerds and specialists that consist of Elliot, Cody, Floyd, Terry, and Katrina working behind Advance's computer system and satellite surveillances under Chuck Stewart's supervision. Chuck stands behind Elliot, who is tracking down calls that are made by Desiree. Elliot types data on the computer and accesses information. Elliot, the last time she activated her cell phone was 2 hours ago. She called a man named Mark James. Chuck, to Katrina, give me who Mark James is, where he lives, what he does, and if he has a pet named I Love Lucy. Katrina types Mark James in the computer. The computer lists the information of Mark James. EXT Mark's house, day. It's one of those exclusive villas that we see in the middle of nowhere. The Pontiac comes driving and pulls in front of the house. Leo and Desiree get out of the car and walk to the entrance. Desiree rings the bell. Int. Mark's house, entrance, day. A maid named Sabrina opens the door, revealing Desiree and Leo. Desiree, hola. Sabrina, hola. Desiree and Leo enter the house. The maid closes the door. Desiree, ¿cómo está? Sabrina, bien, gracias. ¿Why usted? Desiree, más o menos. I want to see Mark. Sabrina, just a moment. Sabrina walks toward the kitchen. Living room. Leo and Desiree come to the living room. Through the open glass doors, we see Mark and his crew shooting softcore adult video, 2 girls kissing in the jacuzzi next to the swimming pool. Sabrina comes from the other side and says something to Mark, he nods sure, she walks away. Close up, Leo and Desiree. They stand in the living room waiting. Full shot. Leo and Desiree continue to look at Mark through the window. Mark says cut, gets up from the chair, tells Rick, an assist director, to take over, and walks toward the living room. Mark enters the living room. Mark, hi, fever. Desiree, hi. Mark approaches Desiree, gives her a friendly soft kiss on the lips, and looks at Leo. Desiree, this is Leo. Mark, what's up? Leo, nothing much. They shake hands. Mark, to Desiree, what's it? Desiree, I need to use your computer if it's okay with you. Mark, go ahead. Mi casa su casa. I have to get back and finish this picture tonight. Desiree, thanks. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. Mark, make yourself at home. Mark goes back to the set. Desiree takes Leo's arm. Desiree, come on. Leo and Desiree walk toward upstairs, Mark's office. They climb the staircase. Int. Mark's office, night. Leo sits behind Mark's computer transferring the video into a disk. Desiree stands watching Leo downloading the file. On the computer, We see a video file being transferred into a disk. Desiree, what's next? Leo, I'll wait and see what my brother has to say about our status, we are wanted. Then give him the disk. They continue to download the file. EXT marks house, swimming pool, night. We see the crew and the actors that consist of about 20 people, men and women, dancing, standing, and talking with drinks and refreshment. Two of the girls are Audrey and Chloe that we saw earlier kissing in the jacuzzi. They stand with drinks talking with Rick. Fergie's clumsy plays from a stereo. The camera then moves to reveal Desiree who is standing in front of Mark. They are drinking champagne cocktails while talking. However, we don't hear what they're saying due to the music. We then move through the window doors and come to the living room. Int. Living room, night. Leo stands at the bar with a glass of scotch while talking to Brad on a cell phone. Leo, sure. Pause, listening. Leo, I'll probably do that. Pause, listening. Int. LVPD, Brad's desk, night. Brad sits behind his desk, talking to Leo on the phone while checking a video file in his computer. He is trying to access the data in vain. Brad, I don't know what you got yourself into, but I have to tell you. He is hotshot. That psychopath is the Prince of Darkness himself. Pause, typing. Brad, just be careful. You don't want to get yourself killed over this misfortune. Referring to the computer, God damn it. I can't access the file. Pause, typing. Brad, you know what to do with it. Pause, typing. Brad, right. Pause, listening. Brad, just drop it there. Don't tell her anything. I'll come and pick it up myself. Pause, listening. Brad, don't worry about that. I'll take care of it. Keep an eye on her. I have to go. Two guys in tuxedo are walking toward me. It seems they are from the bureau. We see two men, Agent Johansson and Agent Clifford, walking toward Brad. EXT marks villa, living room, night. Back to Leo. He continues to talk Brad on the cell phone. Leo, okay, bye. Leo hangs up the phone, grabs his drink, and takes a sip. He puts down the drink on the counter, and walks toward the swimming pool. EXT swimming pool, night. Leo steps out and sees Audrey and Chloe talking. He walks to Audrey and gives her the phone. Leo, thanks. She takes the phone. Audrey, you welcome. Chloe looks at Leo. Audrey, this is Leo. Chloe. Chloe, hi. She gives him her hand. He takes her hand. Leo, hi. They shake hands. Chloe, you are cute. Leo, thanks. Chloe, pleased to meet you. Leo, pleasure is mine. Leo turns his eyes, and looks at Desiree, who continues to talk to Mark at the other side of the swimming pool. Leo, excuse me. He begins to walk toward Desiree. After he takes 3 steps, an attractive girl named Amber stops him. Amber, I know you. Your name is Leo. You used to come to Pussycat Strip Club. I danced there for 3 months. They all had crush on you, including myself. Leo looks at Desiree. Pan to Mark and Desiree. Mark, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to forget it. It slipped out of my mind. Desiree, you just can't build relationship out of empty skull. It feels wrong. Mark, what do you build relationship out of? Desiree, you build relationship out of trust, tenderness, and love. Mark, you know I trust you enough to love you more than life itself. Desiree, arrest my case. Mark, how come? Desiree, you just cannot tell a girl, whom you are obsessed with, you trust her enough to love her more than life itself. Instead, you look at her eyes and tell her she is real. There is a pause. He gazes at her eyes for 3 seconds. Mark, I gave up. Real is too much of a good word or rather orderly thing that you tell a girl next door. Or maybe I'm not much of a nobleman to stand in front of a princess and tell you that your eyes give light to my dark soul. And whenever I look at your lips, my heart bleeds like Christ on the cross. Desiree, whatever. Mark, what is your secret? Desiree, what secret? Mark, how you get sexier every time I look at you. She smiles softly, turns her eyes, and look at Leo who is talking to Amber. Leo tells Amber he has to go. She just cuddles and gives him a juicy kiss on the lips. Leo says bye, walks toward Desiree, at the same time, sees a couple of guys, Benjamin, Xavier, and Justin, standing across the swimming pool, and looking at him. Leo turns his eyes and continues to walk toward Desiree. Benjamin points his finger at Leo, and says something. Xavier and Justin shake their heads as if they were saying, that's him, the killer. Benjamin takes out his cell phone, and walks on the corner to call the police. Desiree and Mark look at Leo as he approaches them. Mark, how did it go? Leo, it went fine. To Desiree, I think we should hit the road. Desiree, where are we going? Leo, I'll tell you on the way. Mark, you can stay at the guest room if you want to. Leo, thanks. But we have to go. Just make sure you hold onto the disc in case anything happened to us. To Desiree. Come on, takes her arm gently. Let's get out of here before they call police. To Mark, I appreciate for the help. Mark, anytime. Leo, good night. Leo pulls Desiree with him. Mark, take care. Desiree, bye. Leo and Desiree walk toward the direction of the camera. EXT/int. Lotus Elise convertible, moving, night. A 2008 purple Lotus Elise convertible. Leo is behind the wheel driving. Desiree sits in the passenger seat. Int. Restaurant, night. It's a fancy restaurant. Tom sits at a table with a beautiful woman named Diana, 29. They are in the middle of conversation while drinking wines. Diana, what make life sweet? Tom, peace of mind. Diana, what's peace of mind? Tom, just peace. Diana, what else? Tom, what else, what? Diana, what gives you pleasure? Tom, why don't you tell me? Diana, what you want to hear? Tom, are you happy? Diana, I am happier than a little girl who received a Barbie doll for Christmas. He smiles at her softly. There is a pause. He takes a sip, and puts down the glass. He then. Tom, what do you think about the possibility of being the youngest First Lady of the United States? Diana, under her breath, what is it? Out of nowhere Tom takes out a diamond engagement ring. Tom, will you marry me? She looks at him speechlessly, and gives him her hand. He puts the rings on her finger. We notice there is a scar on his hand. Diana, softly I love you. Tom, softly I love you too. They kiss and part their lips as the waiter comes to their table, carrying a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses on a tray. The waiter places the glasses in front of them, Pop opens the bottle, and pours the champagne in the glasses. Tom, thanks. The waiter nods you welcome, puts the bottle on the table and walks away. Tom and Diana take their glasses. Tom, cheers. Diana, cheers. They cheer and have sips. Diana puts her drink on the table. Diana, it might sound quixotic but this is the best night I have ever had for a long time. Tom's cell phone rings. Tom points his first finger, just a moment, and answers the phone. He listens for a few seconds silently, hangs up the phone, and dials a number with the touch of a button. Tom, on the phone, I'm coming out. He hangs up the phone, and gets up from his chair. Tom, I'm sorry. Something important comes. I have to go. John will drive you home. Tom takes out his wallet. Diana, where are you going? Tom, I have to go to a meeting. Tom pulls out $200. Diana, what meeting? He puts the money on the table as he walks behind her chair. Tom, I don't have time to explain. It's urgent. He comes behind her and kisses her on the cheek. Tom, I'll give you a call. Bye. He walks away, leaving Diana on the screen. She doesn't bother to look at him. She gazes at her ring in disappointment. Tom exits the restaurant in the background. She then grabs her drink and takes a sip. Int. Limousine, moving, night. Tom sits in back talking to Richard on his cell phone. Int. Intelligence agency, computer lab, office, night. It's a glass office. Richard, half standing and half sitting on the edge of the desk, talks to Tom on the phone. Richard, we just got a call from Mr. James's house. A man said he saw them talking to Mr. James. There is a high % chance they could still be at the house as we speak. Int. Limousine, moving, night. Back to Tom. He seems cool. Tom, on the phone, go ahead and do what must be done. I don't want anyone to fuck up this. Tom hangs up. EXT Blue Nile Bar, night. It's a classic blues house. On the stage, we see a beautiful woman, Maria, 46, sings Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart with Stardust Band. There are a handful of customers sitting at the tables, enjoying the show while drinking all kind of alcoholic beverage. Then Leo and Desiree walk in, come to an open table and sit on chairs. Maria looks at Leo, and tears fill her eyes. Leo gives her a soft smile. She returns his smile with tenderness and continues to sing. Leo and Desiree take seats, and continue to watch her. Then a waitress named Raquel comes to their table to take their order. Raquel, can I get you something? Leo, what you want to drink? Desiree, to Raquel, I will have a glass of wine. Raquel looks at Leo. Leo, same. Raquel, I'll be with you in a minute. Raquel walks away. Leo and Desiree turn their attention back to Maria. On the stage, Maria continues to sing, gazing at Leo with all the care, admiration, and love in the world. Leo turns his eyes and catches Desiree's eyes as she looks at him. They exchange soft smiles, turn their eyes, and continue to listen to Maria. Close up, Maria. Maria sings a little bit and finishes singing with beautiful melody. The audiences give her a round of applause. Maria comes to Leo and Desiree's table, and looks at the young man's eyes. Maria, there are things in life that give you a chest pain as if you were here in this world just to care about them, despite the fact, they forgot that you are alive. Do you mind if I join you? He smiles softly. Leo, go ahead. She takes a seat. On the background, the Stardust Band begins to play Killing Me Softly jazz. Maria, what you doing here? Leo, I just came to say happy birthday. Out of nowhere, Leo takes out a small box and gives her. Maria, what's it? Maria takes the box and opens it, revealing a pair of pearl earrings. Maria, where did you get it? Leo, does it make any difference where I got it? I got it for you. Maria looks at the earring. Maria, did you steal it? Leo, no, I bought it from Macy's. Maria takes out her earrings and wears the earrings that Leo gave her. Maria, it doesn't make up for all those years I thought I lost you. But it's better than nothing. Thanks. Leo, you welcome. Maria looks at Desiree. Leo, I'm sorry. This is Desiree. To Desiree, Maria, my mother. Desiree, hi. Desiree gives Maria her hand. Maria takes Desiree's hand. Maria, hi. Raquel comes to their table with their drinks, and place them in front of Desiree and Leo. Maria, when did you start drinking? Raquel places his drink in front of him. Leo, it's just a glass of red wine, Mom. To Raquel, thanks. Raquel, you welcome. Leo, to his mother they said it's good for your heart. Maria, if you say so. To Raquel, give me Manhattan. Raquel nods okay and walks away, leaving Leo, Desiree, and Maria on top of screen. There is a silent moment. Maria, how are you? Leo, I'm fine. Maria, you lost a lot of weight. Leo, did I really? She nods yes. Maria, to Desiree you should have seen him 5 years ago. He used to look like a gladiator. When he was still, what was it, a welterweight? Leo, light welterweight. Maria, super welterweight champion of the world. Desiree, I didn't know he was a boxer. Maria, he gave me his gold medal that he won at the world championship match. I still have it here in the dressing room with his photo. Leo smiles softly. Leo, she just means she is proud of me. They all smile quietly. EXT/int. Brad's car, moving, night. Brad drives down the street in the city of Vegas. Then, in the rearview mirror, Brad sees a black Mercedes carrying 2 men following him. Brad drives a little bit more and stops at a red light, looks at the Mercedes on the rearview mirror again as they pull behind him. The light then turns to green. Brad waits. The light turns to red. Brad quickly steps on the gas, runs the light, and moves through the traffic. The 2 men in the Mercedes go after Brad. But before they go any farther, the Mercedes gets hit by a blue 2008 BMW X5 out of scenario. Brad looks at them in the rear view, flashes a dissolute smile and keeps on driving. Int. Blue Nile Bar, night. The bar is empty. Leo sits behind the piano playing classic jazz. Desiree and Maria, who are sitting at the table with glasses of champagne cocktails, watch Leo in wonder. Leo strokes few more keys and then finishes with harmonious notes. Leo gets up from the piano and walks to Desiree and Maria's table. He takes Desiree's drink, has a sip, and puts down the glass. Leo, to Maria, we can't stay here for long. Takes out the envelope from his pocket that has a disc, give this to Brad. He'll come and pick it up. He gives her the envelope. Maria, sure. Maria takes the envelope. Leo, to Desiree, we had better go before they come looking for us. Both Desiree and Maria get up. Maria, you can take my room upstairs. I can sleep on the couch here. Leo, thanks, Mom. But we must go. It won't be long before they run my name, and find where I live and who I know. They begin to move toward the exit. Maria, where are you going to sleep? Leo, we'll figure it out in the way to California. They stop at the exit. Leo kisses his mother on the cheek. On the soundtrack, Sarah McLachlan's Building Mystery plays melodiously. Leo, bye. Leo takes Desiree's hand. Desiree, to Maria, see you. Maria, bye. Leo and Desiree walk toward the direction of the camera. EXT Blue Nile Bar, night. Leo and Desiree come to their car, Lotus Elise. They get in the car and drive away just as Brad arrives at bar. Brad parks his car in front of the bar, steps out the vehicle, and walks toward the building. EXT/int. Lotus Elise, moving, night. Leo and Desiree are driving. Desiree, your mother is cool. Leo, she is the coolest person in the world. Desiree, she seems very fond of you. Leo, she likes him. But she thinks I am soft since I stopped boxing. Desiree, why did you stop? Leo, it took me years to figure it out to leave a normal life. Desiree, what's normal life? Leo, you have to get up in the morning, run 10 miles every day, do hundreds of sit-up, spend the whole day in the gym lifting weight. And later, you get in the ring, try to outclass your opponent before you take a major blow in the head. The fight would soon be over. You either win or lose. It doesn't matter, you would go home. First, you don't feel anything. Then as the days go by, you start forgetting things that matter dearly, like the names of the people that you have known all your life after you get a headache the size of Mount Everest. Desiree, that's crazy. Leo, I was not much of a defensive fighter. I fight open. Just moving around like a mongoose. That is why my career get cut short. I moved around this by so quickly, jumped in the air, and hit him in the back of the head awkwardly like mixed martial art. I broke my wrist even though knocked him out cold. It got better but I had never been the same since then. She smiles at him alluringly. On the soundtrack, Sarah McLachlan's Building Mystery continues to play melodiously. Int. Intelligence Agency, Computer Lab, Office, night. Richard sits behind the disc. Tom stands in front of Richard. Richard, we're doing a follow-up on her cell phone. So far it remains off. But we'll find them as soon as they activate it again. There is a knock at the door. A pretty woman, Selma, 28, opens the door and walks in. Selma, they are here. Tom, let them in. Selma opens the door wider, revealing Agent Johnson and Agent Clifford. They enter. Selma leaves in the background. Richard remains seated. Tom, what did you guys find out? Johnson, he's willing to cooperate. Clifford, but he wants to get paid handsomely in doing so. Johnson, $5 million. Clifford, cash only. Tom, it'll be arranged. EXT/int. Lotus Elise convertible, moving, night. Leo and Desiree, who is sleeping, continue to drive. She then hears something, opens her eyes, and looks at Leo. Desiree, what's that? Leo, it's a flat tire. I must have run into a sharp object. Leo turns the wheel, gets off the street, and pulls the car next to a billboard where a female model poses for Marlboro. At the same time, the sky is covered with dark heavy clouds. Lightning cuts the sky like a bad day in hell, followed by thunder. It begins to drizzle. Leo, let me check. Leo gets out the car, and looks at the front tire. It's flat. Leo, it's flat. Desiree, what are we going to do? Leo, let me see if we have a spare tire. Leo opens the hood, removes the rag, and finds a bag. There is no spare tire. He grabs the bag and walks up to Desiree as she gets out of the car. Leo, no spare tire. I found this in its place. Desiree, what is it? Leo, let's check it out. Leo opens the bag. We see bags of amphetamine. Desiree, what is that? Leo, it's a drug. Leo opens it, takes a pill, turns it into powder, and tastes the drug. Leo, it's speed, worth about 30,000 grands. Desiree, are you going to sell it? Leo, I am not a drug dealer. I will just put it back. Leo puts the drug in the bag, returns the controlled substance where he found it, and closes the trunk. Meanwhile, it continues to rain. Leo looks at a light from a distance. We zoom closer toward the light. It's a ranch. Int. Farmhouse, cattle's room, night. It's a typical cattle's room. Dry grasses cover the floor. We see horses and cows behind the bars. Leo and Desiree enter. They are wet. Leo comes up to a lantern, lights it with a match, and looks at Desiree who is shivering from the cold. He grabs a blanket that happens to be on the stack of parched grasses, and places it over her shoulder. Leo, you okay? Desiree, I'm fine. Desiree sits on the stack of parched grasses. Leo walks up and down to keep himself warm. Desiree looks at him. He catches her eyes. Desiree, come sit here. We can share the blanket. Leo sits next to her. Desiree, giving the piece of blanket to Leo here. Leo, I'm cool. She gazes at him. He glances at her. She continues to look at him. He turns his face, and looks at her eyes. Close up, Desiree and Leo. They gaze at each other tenderly. On the soundtrack, Patti LaBelle's If You Ask Me To plays melodiously. She gets closer, drops the blanket, and kisses him. He kisses her. They kiss more passionately. He parts his lips softly. Leo, I have to get out of these clothes. They kiss more intimately. He caresses her neck. They slowly strip each other clothes as they continue to kiss more seductively. Then, Leo and Desiree begin to make love on the grass with series cuts. It's seductive, steamy, and passionate. They are going at it with various sexual positions. EXT Mark's house, swimming pool, night. Mark's crew continues to party. On the soundtrack, Disturbia by Rihanna plays mixed with dance beat. Int. Mark's office, night. Mark sits behind his computer looking at the video. On the computer, we see the death of Sienna that we saw previously, Tom strangling the beautiful creature. EXT Mark's house, front porch, night. We see Dylan and about 8 mercenaries wearing tear gas masks and carrying machine guns, moving throughout Mark's real estate. Dylan and 4 mercenaries come and stand both sides of the door. Stan, who is second in charge, places a new explosive device in the handler instead of using a battering ram, and stands on the side. Dylan gives him 3 fingers, in a count of 3, do what you have to do. Int. Mark's house, night. Medium shot of the door. The door opens like an action film in the 90s. Tear gases roll on the floor. Smoke covers the house like a bad day in heaven. Dylan, Stan, and the 3 mercenaries enter and move toward the living room. Stan sees Sabrina standing at the kitchen door. He blows her away. The 2 mercenaries go to the kitchen. Dylan, Stan, and a mercenary continue to advance toward the living room. Living room. We see Rick sitting with a girl on the sofa disoriented due to the tear gas. 2 guys and 2 girls stand at the fireplace cuffing. Dylan comes out of nowhere and shoots Rick and the girl, who is sitting on the sofa. They instantly die. Simultaneously, Stan and a mercenary enter and kill the rest of them with hell of bullets. The bad guys then progress toward the swimming pool. Dylan walks toward upstairs. EXT Mark's house, swimming pool, night. People are moving in chaos. The rest of the mercenaries come from all directions and begin to kill whoever happens to be in the area. A man runs down by the swimming pool as if he saw a shark that can breathe on land and had 4 feet like a lion. He gets shot in the back by a mercenary. The man falls in the swimming pool and dies. The color of the water changes into red due to blood like only God forgive in Mars. 2 girls and 3 men, who are moving by the swimming pool bar, get blown away by two mercenaries. The bad guys continue to massacre whoever happens to be moving or standing, one killing after another. Int. Mark's house, office, night. Mark remains behind his computer making copies, then pulls the drawer, revealing Smith & Wesson M&P9, a handgun, grabs the gun, and points it at the door. Medium shot of the door. The door handle gets blown from outside. The door opens slightly. Mark gets up and fires at the direction of the door 3 times. The door then gets kicked wide open, revealing Dylan with his shotgun. Dylan steps in and shoots Mark in the head. Mark's brain got splatter on the wall. He falls on the floor and dies. Dylan looks at Mark with zero compassion, walks around the desk, retrieves the disk from the hard drive, puts it in his chest pocket, takes out a hand grenade, and walks toward the exit. Mark's office/hallway. Dylan exits, pulls the pin from the grenade, throws it at the office, and walks at the direction of the camera. Meanwhile, the grenade explodes inside the office off-screen. Dylan continues to move toward the direction of the camera as if nothing happened. Int. Fram house, cattle room, night. We are back to Desiree and Leo as they continue to make love on the grasses. Leo then rolls Desiree where her cell phone is at. Desiree presses the cell phone with her butt and activates the phone by accident. Int. Intelligence Agency, Computer Lab, Room A, night. We are back at the computer lab with Richard, who has taken over the operation from Chuck. Elliot picks up a signal and shows the sign to Richard. Elliot punches few commands, locates where the signal came from, and shows it to his boss. Richard takes out his cell phone, and makes a call. Int. Fram house, cattle room, night. Leo and Desiree continue to make love. Int. Mark's house living room. We see the bad guys cleaning up the mess, putting dead bodies in the bags, carrying bodies out of the house, spreading benzene on the floor, etc. Dylan is talking to Richard on the phone. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Dylan listens for about 3 seconds, hangs up the phone, takes out a cigarette, lights it, smokes, and looks at his goons who are carrying the last dead body out of the living room. Close up, Dylan. He breathes out the smoke at the screen with style as he walks toward the direction of the camera. EXT Mark's house, night. An established shot of Mark's house burning. Int. Farmhouse, cattle room, night. Leo cuddles Desiree next to his heart and recites a poem. They are naked, covered with a single blanket. Leo, tenderness of morning light that heaven send, delicateness of deep sensuality, a rose lying on her bed, forgive not valleys, hills, mountains, and rivers lace. And the sun rises to pledge its rays to thy beautiful face. The skies brighten upon seeing thy smile and true grace. And Scarlet Pimpernel flapping its wings like a butterfly in the belly of a brave. Twilight of erotic crepuscule in glistening ocean wave. Ask not why the sun sets to surrender its seductive place. And eclipse to kiss and witness my heart race. Above all yet mercy the beat of my beat and my soul. Thrill to feel thy goddess body and naked embrace. Cuddling thee in love, lips to lose. Every universal run-of-the-mill sense. She smiles in beauty. She turns around, puts her arms around him and kisses him. They kiss French. She then parts her lips and lies back on his chest. He holds her dearly. Desiree, that is romantic. Leo, I had my moment. There is a silent moment. She then. Desiree, there is this joke of Citizen Kane that they improvised from Woody Allen's Annie Hall. Kane said to Susan, when you live alone, when you die, a lot of people come to your funeral service, and pretend they know you dearly. Susan said, I would be lucky if a single soul come to my funeral. They will just cut my body to pieces and feed it to hyenas. Kane said, don't worry, I will be there at the other side of heaven to welcome you. Susan said, that's quite comforting, full of sadness and happiness. It'll be all over much too quickly even here in paradise. Leo, that's authentic. Yet I like it better, imitating Humphrey Bogart, here's looking at you, kid. She smiles in beauty. He gives her a soft kiss on the lips. Desiree, why do we fall in love? Leo, humorously, little bit sin is not a lack of decency but an act that changes the fate of our hearts. Desiree, aren't we responsible for our emotions? Leo, we are only responsible for the endearment of our emotions. Desiree, what do you mean? Leo, your lips. Desiree, what about them? Leo, they're like the garden of roses and everlasting flame, and ache my heart seductively till my blood and soul become one infusion, and take me to sweet everything without conclusion beyond the imitation of existence that feels like illusion. They kiss French. Desiree, I have to tell you something? Leo, what's it? Desiree, Melissa. Leo, what about her? Desiree, I lied to you. She didn't go to New York. She died about 6 months ago. Leo, what do you mean? Desiree, we were at the ceremony, hosted by Secret Society. Int. Secret Society Mansion, night. Flashback. We see over 50 men wearing black gowns and masks. They stand in front of the board that consists of one headmaster, 2 sub-right masters, and 2 sub-left masters, who oversee all the actions that take place in the house, at a secret society ceremony. On the soundtracks, classic music plays. Then Desiree comes carrying a bowl, followed by 6 extremely attractive girls between the ages of 21 to 25 from the other living room. We notice girl number 2 is Melissa. They walk through the crowd in the manner of elegance, and stand before the board. There is a man in white gown holding a burning scent in a container. He moves toward the girls, performs a ritual, and stands on the side. Desiree then comes and stands holding the bowl before the left submaster one. He picks a ticket out of the bowl. It reads green. He gets up and reads the ticket aloud. Though we can't hear them due to the music on the soundtrack. Girl #5 takes 2 steps forward, drops her gown and stands with green underwear revealing her 2 well-rounded breasts. Left submaster 1 comes up to the girl, and gives her his arm. She takes his arms. They walk toward the first living room. Desiree moves and stands before left submaster 2. He takes a ticket out of the bowl. It reads yellow. He gets up and reads it aloud. Girl #1 takes 2 steps forward, drops her gown and stands with yellow underwear. He approaches her and gives her his arms. She takes his arm. They walk toward the direction of the camera. Desiree holds the bowl before right submaster 1. He takes a ticket. It reads white. He gets up and reads it aloud. Girl #3 takes 2 steps forward, drops her gown, and stands with white underwear. He comes and gives her his arm. She takes his arm. They walk away. Desiree stands holding the bowl before right submaster 2. He picks a ticket. It reads blue. He gets up and reads it aloud. Girl #4 takes 2 steps forward, drops her gown and stands with blue underwear. He comes and gives her his arm. She takes his arm. They walk toward the first living room leaving Melissa and girl #6 on top of the screen. Desiree then comes and stands holding the bowl before the headmaster. We see a scar on his hand. It's Tom. He picks a ticket. It reads red. He gets up and reads it aloud. Girl #6 walks forward, drops her gown and stands with red underwear. He comes and gives her his arm. She takes his arm. They walk away leaving Melissa on the screen. Melissa turns around and faces the crowd. They look at her silently. It seems she has to have sex with all of them. She slowly takes out her underwear, drops her gown, and stands nude. Close up, Melissa. She doesn't like it. Tears fill her eyes. Int. Farmhouse, cattle room, night. Back to Leo and Desiree. Desiree, the next morning I found her in the bathtub dead. She committed suicide cutting her wrist. Int. Desiree and Melissa's apartment, bathroom, morning. Flashback. We see Melissa lying inside the bathtub dead with her wrists cut. Desiree walks in and sees Melissa in the tub lifeless. Desiree stands frozen. She then looks at a note, picks the note and begins to read it. Melissa, voiceover dear, Leo. I thought I would live my life the way I had dreamed. But fate has its own idea leaving things on an uneven keel. Int. Melissa's bedroom, night. We see Melissa sitting behind a mirror, writing the note. Melissa, voiceover but I learned that love means everything. And I want to leave you with this poem How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Int. Melissa's bedroom, night. Melissa, sitting behind the mirror, applies makeup on her face, eyes, lips, etc. Melissa, voiceover How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height. My soul can reach, when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being and ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely, as men strive for right. I love thee purely, as they turn from praise. I love thee with a passion put to use. In my old griefs, and with my childhood's faith. Int. Farmhouse, cattle room, night. Leo gets up and sits on the pile of grasses reading the note. Desiree stays on the floor. Melissa, voiceover I love thee with a love I seem to lose. With my lost saints, I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears, of all my life. And, if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. I love you Leo. Take care. Leo puts the note on the side, and looks at Desiree. Pause. Desiree, I'm sorry. Leo remains silent. She gets up, and sits next to him. Desiree, I don't expect you to forgive me. I know Tom since I was a little girl. He was my father's best friend. But after my father died, he married my mother and became my stepfather. Even though it took advantage of me while I was still a teenager, I thought I was in love with him. Then my mother divorced him after she found out he was having an affair with me. I ran away, and became an exotic dancer. But Tom found me and gave me an apartment. He paid the rent, and introduced me to the owner of Rose Garden, Devin Erickson. I became a singer. Later, I met Melissa through a friend. She told me she wanted to be a dancer at the garden. I introduced her to Devin. He gave her the job. I don't know how to say this but I was kind of attracted to her from the beginning and asked if she wanted to move with me at no charge. She agreed and moved with me. One thing led to another. I kissed her, she kissed me. We had sex. You know, I am not lesbian or anything. It was experiment. We agreed to be just friends. Shortly, I introduced her to Tom. They went out together a couple of times. She then joined the secret society. Leo hears a sound outside. Leo, wait. Leo listens at the direction of the door. EXT farmhouse, cattle room, night. We see 6 mercenaries moving near the door with machine guns, 3 each side. The first 2 are closing toward the entrance. Int. Farmhouse, cattle room, night. The door gets kicked open. The two bad guys enter and fire at stacks of parched grasses where Desiree and Leo were at. Pow. 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 They stop firing and look around. There is nobody. Then out of nowhere Leo comes from the hide and shoots them. Pow. 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 The bad guys go down dead. 3 more mercenaries walk in and fire at him. Pow. 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 Leo dives in the air, spins around, and shoots 3 of them. Pow. 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 They go down dead. In the meantime, the lantern falls on floor. The grasses catch on fire. Desiree comes out the hide. Mercenary 6 enter with machine gun. He fires at Leo and Desiree. Pow. 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 Leo takes Desiree, hits the ground, and hides her behind a pile of parched grasses. Leo then comes out the hide and shoots the bad guy in the head. Pow. 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 The bad guy falls and died. Leo gives Desiree his hand. Leo, come on. She takes his hand. They walk toward the exit as the fire progresses throughout the room. They come to the door and see 7 GMC SUVs driving toward the farmhouse direction. Leo, fuck, this way. They turn, walk toward the garage through the interior door and see a 1982 Dodge truck. Next room. Cattle house. We see the cell phone catching on fire. Leo and Desiree have obviously forgotten it. But wait. Leo returns, jumps through the fire, grabs the phone, walks toward the gate, and begins to free the cattle that are trapped behind the gate as the fire continues to progress throughout the house. EXT farmhouse, cattle house, night. An established shot of the cattle house in flame. Dylan, Stan, and over 14 bad guys stand next to their GMC SUVs holding machine guns. The horses and the cows begin to exit, catching the bad guys off guard. Then, Leo and Desiree come out driving the Dodge and jumping through the fire and speed down by the mercenaries. The bad guys fire at them. Dodge, moving. Leo hides Desiree, steps on the gas, speeds, and drives through the mercenaries. Leo and Desiree then break the fence and continue to drive down the hill on the rocky ground. The bad guys get in their cars, and begin to follow them. Dodge, moving. Leo and Desiree continue to drive. The mercenaries continue to pursue them, shooting. Dodge, moving. Leo and Desiree come to the main street, make a turn, and drive down the road. The bad guys continue to chase them, shooting. The first GMC SUV catches up with Leo and Desiree's Dodge, and hits them. Dodge, wobbling. Leo turns the wheel, adjusts the car, and drives against GMC SUV 1. He then takes out his gun, and shoots them. Pow. 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 Leo catches the driver in the face. GMC SUV 1 drives off the road, hits a billboard with full speed, and explodes. Dodge, moving. Leo and Desiree continue to drive. GMC SUV 2 with Stan behind the wheel speeds up and hits them behind. Dodge, moving. Leo and Desiree get yanked. Leo keeps his hands on the wheel and continues to drive faster. Leo then sees a big gas-carrying truck coming at the opposite direction. Leo, have you ever had a death wish? Desiree, what are you talking about? Leo shoots the windshield, removes the front window, gets in the opposite lane, and drives at the direction of the oil truck with full speed as the 5 GMC's SUV follow them. The oil truck honks at them, flashing his headlights. Dodge, moving. Leo continues to drive at the direction of the truck. Desiree, what are you doing? Leo, I have no idea. Leo lifts his gun and fires at the truck. Leo hits the windshield of the truck. The truck comes driving at him. But it turns at the last second avoiding Leo and Desiree and moves over Stan and the rest of bad guys as Leo and Desiree continue to drive at the opposite lane. The first 3 GMC SUVs get hit brutally. The truck flips over. It then explodes as GMC SUV 4 crashes over it. Somehow, the driver of the oil truck survives. We see him on the background running away from the flame as the cars explode again. Leo and Desiree continue to drive. Dodge, moving. Desiree looks at Leo. Desiree, you are crazy. You almost got us killed. He smiles softly in sarcasm, steps on the gas, and continues to drive faster. EXT Street, GMC SUV, night. Dylan comes driving and pulls at the crash site. He gets out of the truck and looks at the fire. He then takes out a cigarette out of his pocket, lights it, and smokes without a concern. EXT/int. Dodge, night. Leo and Desiree as they continue to drive down the street. EXT Dodge, moving, night. Medium shot of the Dodge moving with Leo and Desiree. EXT Desert, phone booth, morning. Leo talks to Brad on the phone in the middle of the desert. Desiree sits in the Dodge waiting for Leo while fixing her makeup on the sun protection mirror. Close up, Leo. Leo, on the phone I got it? Int. Brad's car, moving, morning/EXT phone booth, morning. Brad sits behind the wheel talking to Leo on the phone while driving. Note, we see both sides of the conversation. Brad, I talked to the head of FBI, Marcus Gibson. He said he'll drop the charge against you. And he wants to put you in protective custody. Meet me at 1 p.m. at Lincoln Amusement Park with the cell phone. Leo, before you hang up, I must tell you something. Brad, what is it? Leo, you know Melissa, the girl I used to go out with? Brad, yeah. The girl with sexy eyes. What happened to her? Leo, I thought she went to New York. But Desiree told me she committed suicide after she got herself mixed up with the secret society conducted by Senator Tom. Brad, I'm sorry to hear that. Leo, she participated in their unorthodox sexual ritual, wrote a note, and cut her wrist. Then Tom's men took her body and buried it in the desert. Brad, that sounds extreme. Leo, and according to what Desiree told me, Tom knows all the powerful people, including all the senators, politicians, and judges, who oversee making laws. I don't think it's going to make any difference. It's their words against us. Brad, leave that to me. I'll take care of it. Just meet me at the park with the cell phone. I'll be there sharp 1 p.m. I have to go. Bye. Leo, take care. Brad hangs up the phone. EXT phone booth, Leo, day. Leo hangs up the phone. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Leo comes to the car, gets in, and starts the car. They drive away. EXT cafe, day. Brad comes driving and pulls his vehicle at a cafe in the desert. He gets out the car and walks toward the entrance. Int. Cafe, day. The cafe is empty except we see a cool-looking man Ethan, 38, in tuxedo sitting at the table with a cup of coffee. Ethan grabs his coffee, takes a sip, and puts down the cup. Brad steps in. Ethan looks at him. Brad takes out his sunglass and walks toward him. Brad comes and sits in front of Ethan. Ethan takes out a briefcase, puts the case on the table, and opens it to reveal piles of money that's worth about $5 million. Brad looks at the money, takes a pile, smells it, and puts the money back. He then takes out the disc from his chest pocket and gives Ethan the disc. Ethan takes the disc. Brad closes the case, grabs the money, gets up, and walks toward the direction of the camera. EXT Amusement Park, day. We are in the pub area of the amusement park. Leo and Desiree sit at a table with sodas, cookies, French fries, chicken sandwiches. They take few bits silently. She then. Desiree, some people have negative point of view toward uncertainty. They give pride the benefit of the doubt over instinct, and when the moment of truth comes, they wish they could turn time back and act natural. Leo, how is that? Desiree, we do things that don't make sense in the face of adversity. Leo, what do you have in mind? Desiree, I don't like it. FBI and this protective custody. It sounds baloney. Let's say they place us in protective custody. We can't trust them. They are going to kill us before we make it for the trial. And without talking about other things that could cost us our lives, I know Tom. He's untouchable. Leo, so, what you suggest? Desiree, let's just forget it and go to Mexico. I had a friend, who can get us started. I'll sing. You'll play piano. Leo smiles at her softly and looks at his watch. It's 1 p.m. Leo, it's time. Gets up. Wait here. Let me go talk to him first. Leo walks away, leaving Desiree on the screen. Desiree looks at him, grabs her soda and takes a sip out of the straw. EXT Amusement Park, day. Leo walks toward the exit through the friendly crowd, and sees Brad standing at the gate. Close up, Brad. He sees Leo walking toward him. Brad moves forward. Brad, what's up? Leo, nothing much. At the same time, out of nowhere comes Agent Johnson and Agent Clifford and stand in front of Leo. Brad, I want to introduce you. Agent Johnson, Special Agent Johnson. Agent Clifford, Special Agent Clifford. They show their badge to Leo. Agent Johnson, we're with Federal Bureau Investigation Protective Custody Program. Agent Clifford, where is the girl? Leo, she's at the pub. Brad, let's get her. Leo escorts them toward the pub. Amusement Park, pub. Leo, Brad, Agent Johnson, and Agent Clifford come to the pub and browse around. Desiree is not there. Brad, where is she? Leo looks around. Leo, she was here few seconds ago. Probably, she went to get an ice cream. I told her to wait here. They wait for few seconds. Agent Clifford then. Agent Clifford, did you have the cell phone with you? Leo, I got it somewhere hidden. Before I give it to you, I want to make sure the girl is safe first. Desiree comes with an ice cream. Leo, here, she comes. Out of nowhere Agent Johnson takes out a silencer, and shoots Brad in the head. Brad goes down dead. Desiree drops her ice cream. Agent Clifford quickly presses his gun on Leo's cheek. Agent Clifford, don't fucking move. Leo stands motionless. Agent Johnson grabs Desiree and points his gun at her head. In the meantime, out of nowhere come 5 bad guys with machine guns. Agent Johnson, be cool. Agent Clifford, to Leo, don't do anything stupid, we'll kill both of you. Leo holds his ground and acts cool. Agent Johnson, you going to tell us where you hid the phone, and any copy that you might have made. The bad guys come to Leo and Desiree, hold their arms, and start to escort them toward the exit. Meanwhile, we see 2 mercenaries carrying Brad's dead body in the background. Medium of shot of Leo and Desiree walking escorted by the bad. EXT Street, day. 4 black GMC SUVs move on the street. We zoom to black GMC SUV 2. Int. Black GMC 2, moving, day. Desiree sits between 2 big mercenaries in the back seat. Her face is covered with black textile like a political prisoner who's heading to execution. Int. Black GMC SUV 3, moving, day. Leo sits between two bad guys in the back seat with his handcuffed behind and his face covered with black fabric like a political prisoner who is about to be executed as well or go through a serious interrogation. EXT abundant building, day. An established shot of an abundant building. Int. Abundant building, interrogation room 1, day. Desiree sits on a chair tied. On the table, we see all kind of torturing device, blades, bolt cutter, broach, chainsaw, knives, hacksaw, machete, saw, etc. Dylan stands with cigarette. Two mercenaries, Tyler and Mason, stand with a pincer and a plier. Dylan, where is it? She chooses to say nothing. Dylan gives them a sign, a nod. Mason holds her hand. Tyler takes her thumb and pulls her nail out with the pincer. Desiree screams like a little girl. Dylan, I know it hurt like hell. But once you step out of this country, there are places where you experience a lot of culture shocks, such as there is a tribe in Ethiopia. Before a girl goes out and gets married, they remove all her finger and toenails, and sit her next to her husband literally. So, she knows she's not a little girl that she thinks, but a woman who is equipped to meet the basic needs of her husband and all the demand of the society. Tell me if you know anything that's as quivering and articulate as that holy matrimony. Desiree continues to cry in pain. Pause. Dylan, I'll make it as easy as possible. Where is it? Desiree, go fuck yourself. Dylan gives them a nod. Mason holds her hand. Desiree resists in vain. Tyler takes her index finger and pulls her nail. Desiree screams like hell. Int. Abundant building, interrogation room 2, day. Leo sits on a chair. His hands are tied. We see same torturing devices on a table. Two mercenaries, Jake and Holden, beat the hell of Leo. Richard watches the beating as if it were the greatest entertainment in the world. Jake and Holden make sure Leo feel good old V-rated pain, one punch after another punch. V stands for violent. They pound him till his face turns into a rotten apple. Richard then gives them a sign to stop. They stop. Richard, where is it? Leo, get fucked. Richard gives them a nod to work on him more. Jake and Holden continue to hammer Leo, punching his face mercilessly as blood pours out of his mouth and nose. Int. Abundant building, interrogation room 1, day. Desiree is crying. We see all her 10 fingers nails have been removed. Tyler and Mason stand holding the pincer and the pliers as they continue to carry out the torturing. Dylan looks at her. Dylan, it breaks my heart to see you like this. I don't usually like to torture women. But you left me no choice. Don't waste my time. Just tell me where you hid the phone. Desiree, go fuck yourself. Dylan, if you act like a bitch, you will get fucked like a bitch. Dylan gives them a nod. Mason holds her right legs. She resists hopelessly. Tyler takes her first toe, and pulls out her nail. Desiree screams like hell gone hell. Int. Interrogation room 1, day. Jake and Holden continue to beat Leo as if they found a boxing bag. Richard stands watching as Leo gets inches from passing out. Richard grabs a baseball bat from the table and gives them a sign to stop. They stop hitting him. Richard, why don't you tell us where you hid the cell phone before I split open your head with this baseball bat? Leo, okay, you win. I'll tell you. It's at Barnes & Noble at Charles Street. I left it behind this novel. Great Gatsby. I'll take you myself. Richard, that's the spirit. He comes and kisses him on the cheek. Richard, to Jake and Holden clean him up. Jake and Holden begin to untie Leo who seems weak and almost dead. Leo looks at the torturing device on the table. The knife grabs his attention. Jake and Holden untie Leo completely. All of a sudden, Leo is filled with energy, quickly pushes Jake, grabs Holden, slams him against the table, and throws him on the floor. Leo picks the knife, cuts Jake across the face as he comes after him. Jake holds his face bleeding and goes down. At the same time, Holden pushes Leo against the table. Leo drops the knife, but he quickly grabs a blade and stabs Holden multiple times as Holden wraps his hands around his neck. Holden lets Leo's neck go and falls down dead. In the meantime, Richard sees what Leo has done, and takes out his gun. But before he fires a single bullet, Leo grabs a small axe from the table, and throws it at him lightning fast. The axe hits Richard in the head and stays in his brain like so I shouldn't have fucked with an axe murderer. Richard falls and dies at the spot. Leo takes Richard's gun, and walks toward the exit. Int. Hallway, day. Leo steps out of the integration room, and walks at the direction of the camera. Int. Interrogation room, day. Desiree sits at the chair. All her 10 fingers and toes nails are removed. Tyler and Mason stands on the side. Dylan takes a scissor from the table. Dylan, what don't you make it easy for yourself? If you don't tell me, I will cut you nipples next. The door gets kicked opens. Leo enters and shoots Dylan on the ear. Dylan drops the scissor, holds his ear in pain and hits the floor. Leo quickly fires at Tyler and Mason. They get hit in the chest multiple times, and go down dead. Leo then sees Dylan holding his ear in agony. Leo comes closer to finish what he has started, points the gun at Dylan, and pulls the trigger. But the gun has no bullet. Dylan sees that opportunity, and tries to get up. Leo throws the gun away and kicks Dylan on the stomach. He kicks him again. Dylan holds Leo's foot, drops him on the floor, gets on the top of that bad motherfucker, and punches him on the face. Leo then wrestles Dylan, and punches him across the face. They both get up on their feet and begin to go at it. They exchange few blows. Desiree watches helplessly. Dylan then looks at his gun on the table. Leo sees the scissor on the floor as well. Dylan grabs his gun. Leo jumps, grabs Dylan's hand. Dylan fires a couple of wild shots, bullets fly everywhere. Leo drops Dylan on the floor, and makes him drop the gun. He then grabs the scissor from the floor and stubs Dylan in the neck multiple times. Leo takes Dylan's gun. Simultaneously, Agent Johnson and Clifford enter through the door drawing their guns. Leo turns and shoots them multiple times. Pow! 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 They fall and die on the spot. Leo gets up, and comes to Desiree. She is not breathing. She is shot in the breast by accident. Leo, fuck. Leo grabs a knife from the table, quickly cuts the tapes, and unties her. He picks her up. Leo, I'm sorry. He carries her out of the room. Int. Abundant building, hallway, day. Leo, carrying Desiree, walks toward the exit. A mercenary comes through the door. Leo shoots him in the head. The mercenary brain explodes. Leo, carrying Desiree, comes to the door, opens it, and exits in confusion. Stairs. Leo, carrying Desiree, takes the stairs down, comes to another door with the exit sign above. He opens the door and exits in chaos. Hallway. Leo's POV. Leo, carrying Desiree, walks through a complete white entity. Int. Hospital, surgery room, night. We see surgeons, doctors, and nurses that consist of 4 male and 2 females trying to bring Desiree back to life. She lies lifeless. The medics are trying everything in their power to save her life as they continue to carry out serious medical procedure. The heart monitor shows she's still alive. Int. Hospital, waiting room, night. Leo walks up and down with a couple of stitches on his face, awaiting the outcome of Desiree's fate. He then stops moving and sits on sofa. He closes his eyes. Int. Surgery room, night. Back to Desiree. Dr. Robert Morris, the lead surgeon, and the rest doctors and nurse continue to do everything they can to restore Desiree's life back, but they finally give up and stand back. Int. Hospital, waiting room, night. Leo is on his feet, praying. Then Dr. Robert Morris comes and breaks the news to Leo. We don't hear what they're saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Yet Leo seems sad. Dr. Richard walks away. EXT Street, day. We hear a sound of cheering. A crowd that consists of about 800 people stands before a platform. Close up, Tom. Tom walks through the crowd, escorted by his bodyguard. He shakes few hands that are outstretched toward him. He climbs the stairs and takes the center stage looking at the cheerful crowd. The crowds applaud for long seconds. Tom, thank you Nevada. Thank you Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I begin. We see Diana standing nearby. Tom looks at her. Tom, I want to thank my fiancée Diana Rylan. If it weren't for the love, care, and the support that she gave me throughout my campaign, I wouldn't be here standing giving the most important speech of my life. I promised her we'll walk down the aisle before the election, on 4th of July. The birthday of the United States of America, the day that our adored, cherished, and most respected USA is given the greatest honor of them all, the Declaration of Independence by Congress and its founding fathers. I'll take her to be my wife, to love and to cherish till death do us part, for she is the love of my life. Diana fills with delight. The crowd applauds. Pan to Leo. Leo stands in the back alone. He takes out a cigarette, lights it, and smokes as Tom continues to give speech. Tom giving speech, later. Tom, I believe in world peace. I'll work overtime to bring peace to this marvelous planet. The bodyguards and Secret Service men stands everywhere looking for any suspicious characters. Tom, but do make mistake about it, America will always come first. And its enemies will fall and be reduced to nothing before its pride and glory. The crowd applauds. Close up, Leo. Leo, standing at the back, scans at the bodyguards, turns his eyes and looks at the senator. Tom, this is not a threat. It's a figure of speech. They mean nothing to us. We will hit them economically, and make them wish they should not have started any kind of war with us. However, prior to anything, I want to see kids get the best education. Grow up and lead this country to the forefront of science and technology. The crowd applauds. Tom, I want to see children as well as the elderly, disabled, veterans, and the underprivileged, obtain the best healthcare benefits, till we overcome all obstacles that I believe we can conquer through our minds, edification, hearts, and spirits. The crowd applauds. The Secret Service men continue to watch the crowd carefully. Close up, Leo. He begins to move through the crowd. Tom, I want to see boys and girls, men and women, literates and scholars shaping the future of this country, and lead the United States of America to prosperity, might and invincibility. The crowd applauds. Leo continues to move through the crowd. Tom, above all I want to see Americans building the greatest nation that produces the greatest citizen in the solar system if not the universe, all time. They give him a big round of applause. Tom steps back and stands on the side with a full-size smile. Diana walks toward Tom. He sees her, and walks toward her. They hug and kiss as the crowd continues to applaud like election. Tom then tells Diana something, and gives a nod to his bodyguards. They come and escort him as Diana moves to the other side. Leo continues to move. Tom gets down the stairs and walks through the crowd greeting and shaking hands of his fans as his bodyguards push the crowd aside. Leo, moving, takes out his guns. Tom continues to greet his fans as his bodyguard continues to take him forward. Leo comes closer, looks at Tom in the eyes, and lifts his hand. Tom sees him. When Leo is about to pull the trigger, he hears a gunshot, followed by 3 more shots. The crowd lets out shout. Tom falls on the ground. We do a quick rewind and see Derek Smith, 31, a shady-looking man, carrying 44. Derek fires a couple of shots at the senator. 2 bullets hit Tom in the chest and neck. The bodyguard, Austin, got hit in the eye. 2 Secret Service men quickly tackle Derek, put him on the ground and apprehend him violently. At the same time, the crowd goes astray, screaming, and crying in pandemonium. Leo watches Tom lying on the ground dead, and some of the Secret Service men and his staff members shouting as they try to help him. Leo puts his gun back in his belt, turns around and walks through the crowd that is moving in disarray. We hear ambulances' sirens as the paramedics, who happen to be in the area, rush to the scene. Leo continues to move away from the chaos. On the soundtrack, Leona Lewis' Better in Time plays pleasantly. Street. Leo comes to the corner of a building, turns, moves down the back alley, stops at a trash container, takes out his gun, tosses it in the trash container, and walks away. Int. Diner, day. Leo sits at the counter, eating a turkey sandwich with orange soda while watching the assassination of Tom on the TV. TV. The news is talking about the assassination of Tom. Leo continues to watch, gorging on his turkey sandwich, and quenching his orange soda like a little kid. EXT Street, early sunset. Leo walks on the sidewalk, looks at a flower shop, and enters the store. Int. Hospital, room, night. Desiree sleeps in coma. Then Leo walks in with a bouquet of flowers and looks at her. She looks peaceful. It feels like she might not wake up anytime soon. He puts down the flowers on the table and gives her a soft kiss on the lips. Int. Hospital, room, later. Desiree continues to sleep in coma. Leo sits on the couch, reading a book while waiting for Desiree to come out. Int. Hospital, early morning. Desiree remains in coma sleeping like Snow White. Leo falls asleep. Int. Hospital, morning. Desiree opens her eyes and looks around. She doesn't know where she is at. She sees Leo. Simultaneously, Leo opens his eyes just in time to see her irises for the first time since they sat together at the amusement park. Leo, hi. Desiree, where am I? He gets up. Leo, St. Joan Hospital, Las Vegas. Don't move. I'll call the nurse. Desiree, what happened? Leo, you have been sleeping into coma for a couple of days. Let me get the nurse. Desiree, please, don't go. She gives him her hand. He takes it. She collects all her strength and sits on the bed. They cuddle affectionately. Desiree cries on his shoulder. He kisses her on the lips. She kisses him. They kiss more intimately. Leo, you'll be okay. Let me call the nurse. Desiree lies back on the bed. Leo looks at Desiree as if his heart leaped out his chest and lied on the bed. In the meantime, a nurse named Rachel walks in. Rachel, you came out. Let me call Dr. Ashton. Leo nods sure. Rachel exits the room. Leo and Desiree look at each other's eye. Desiree, softly, I love you. Leo, I love you too. He gives her a soft kiss. She pulls him and kisses him. He climbs the bed. They kiss more passionately. Int. Cancun, restaurant and bar, night. Desiree sings on the stage. Diana crawls just the way you are. It's kind of a seductive 4 stars restaurant and bar. Leo sits at the table, watching Desiree while sipping scotch on the rock. We see numbers of customers sitting at the tables and enjoying the show with drinks. Close up, Desiree. She continues to sing Diana crawls just the way you are. Leo continues to watch her. We stay with Desiree for a while. EXT ocean, beach, sunset. Leo and Desiree kiss while lying on the beach as the sun scatters across the ocean in splendor. He is on the top, she is on the bottom. Leo then gazes at her eyes softly. Desiree, tell me something romantic. Leo, what is romantic? Desiree, anything. There is a pause. He then. Leo, there are no words that can describe you better than beautiful love. And my heart can't say enough about your eyes, asking if you are the one who gave formation to the stars, and rise to oceans and the skies. And when you smile, no heaven confesses sweeter than pink roses, a roseate gladiolus, and white jasmine that blend in your soul, and glow on your face. Spell and seduction, fever and addiction, the abstract of my feeling and emotion, every butterfly my belly does catch, every star my eyes watch, every kiss my soul does snatch, by far, you have no equal or match. She smiles in beauty. He gives her a soft kiss on the lips. She throws her arms around his neck, and kisses him. Close up, Leo and Desiree. They kiss more intimately. The end.